Hey, what's up, BMX nerds? Welcome back to another episode of KANODE Knows, brought to you by Dick BMX. This week on the show, we got Jake Seeley. Jake Seeley's a great dude. Known him forever, and he's one of the best bikers in the world. His style has changed over the years, and he's been a pro for as long as I can remember. So it's pretty dope getting to catch up with him. He's super interesting because he's interested in some shit. Like we talk about his new vintage thrifting, hustle, all kinds of terminology that I didn't know that exists, but he's knee deep into this stuff. That's not a phrase, knee deep. Anyway, I wanted to say it was really nice to see a lot of you guys at BMX Day. I had a lot of fun. San Diego was really fun. And then just to see the BMX best trick at Rincon was unbelievable. So congrats, Colin. That's insane fakie hop. And everybody, like, can you believe a 540 bar spin was third place? Like, everybody went in. And yeah, I had a good trip. So I just wanted to say that. BMX is dope. And yeah, that's it. So go to rawlife.com, get yourself some green superfoods, use promo code KANODE to get 15% off. And without further ado, let's get into it. Oh, like and subscribe and all that shit, and share the show with a friend. Okay, that's all. Here's Jake Seeley. Hope you guys enjoy. See you next week. Hi, Jake Seeley. Welcome to your first podcast ever.
Hello, friends. Stoked to be here.
Does it feel different now than 10 seconds ago when we weren't recording?
That's okay. Had a little practice, before we kick things off.
I listen to ones where they're just like mid conversation and it starts rolling and they're like, are we rolling? And then because they have a producer and shit, it's not just me hitting this loud button that says recording in progress. If I could sneakily record us like just talking, that would be cool, but there's no way to sneak it.
She did wake me up a little bit. I was like, oh, okay, all right, we're going.
Game time, let's go. What do you want to talk about?
The bot chimed in. I'm like, all right, let's do this.
You got yourself a nice little background here. What do we got?
We have, we'll kick it off with some street sweeper frames, just some of my archive from past frames that I've ridden. I keep all of my frames that I have. I probably have about like 25 of them or so. Hope to do like a kind of like a museum type thing with them all after I'm done riding, or maybe who knows, like even in the near future, it'd be cool to do. So a couple of my frames right there. I was blessed to have a signature skate deck with Sunday, so that's hanging up right there. Those are available. Got Gumby iced out, double chained up, pink wood because I like the classics. And then a painting by Jeff Martin,
nice,
a legend in the game. So I'm honored to have a piece of his. It's pretty sick.
For real.
Other than that, just some other art of friends, local friends and whatnot. I don't know, keeping it fresh. And then my other passion outside of BMX, the vintage t-shirts. I have a closet full of my personals. And then next to me too, stacks of tees, some ready to sell, some not.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. So that's kind of like my life in a corner right there. Vintage clothing and BMX.
It's so
it's
good.
Great. Two of my passions.
Before we started recording, you were telling me about your weekend. Tell me again.
Yeah, definitely. We went out to the Albany BMX Jam. That was Sunday, I believe. Wait,
yeah, it was Sunday.
I can't remember.
It was Sunday.
Oh,
I remember
okay,
texting
so that
you
was
to do
Sunday.
this, and you're like, I'm at the gym.
That was okay, definitely. Okay, you're right. So Sunday was that, and then that was just such a needed experience too, because I haven't been to like a big jam or anything. I kind of been just like sheltered in like, or bubbled into like Pittsfield area, kind of just my local, just trying to like kick it with the local scene and just like stay afloat out here, So that was really good to get out of here and see like a bunch of faces I haven't seen in ages. Speaking of, like, Muffin Man was there, dude. And I haven't seen Muffin Man.
Nice.
Dude, I haven't got to really like chop it up and kick it with Muffin Man and like since like oh my god, like probably like 15 years ago, so long ago, dude, like straight up back in the come up days out in New York, dude.
How's he doing? I haven't heard his name in so long. Muffin Man.
He's doing fantastic, man. He's gone through some stuff like getting hit by cars and stuff like that, so he's gotten pretty beat up in the past, but he's fully like healed up and like on his game again, dude. And he says that he's super motivated, hyped to be riding and just like out with all of his boys kicking it just like he did back in the day. So I don't know. He seems super stoked on life, and it just made me really happy. And it was so good to see him. I don't know. That's my boy, my day one homie. So
hell yeah,
it was cool to reunite with him and kick it and cruise around and just swerve in some traffic, just like good old days, you know. So,
What was the jam for? Just BMX day? Was it BMX day?
dude, yeah, Jared Butler just puts it together at once a year just for the the Albany community and all the riders out there. And like honestly, it's not just Albany. Like there was people coming out from like Pennsylvania and like all over like the tri-state area, which was really cool to see. It reminded me of like how strong that scene is, dude. It's wild how many people showed up for that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was dope. So yeah, just a cool. I was just at the Blue Banks. You know, it was just a fun time, like long jump, high air, foot down, just the classic like BMX like times with the homies. You know, so it was a good old time. And after that, I had a vintage pop up. So with all like the vintage clothing and stuff, I also sell a lot of it. So I'll throw like pop ups almost every weekend, whether it's local or out of town. I'll set up like a 10 by 10 booth and just have a bunch of racks in there with a bunch of all the clothes that I've like hand curated and yeah, slang tees, jackets, coats, pants, hats, pretty much anything that's like 20 years or older. You know, sometimes I like to like get into like pop culture nowadays and like stuff like that. So I'll bring some like Peep stuff out or like a little sorry like Kanye or just like any of those like kind of like streetwear brands. I'll trickle those into because they're like kind of hot with like the teens and whatnot, the kids out there. So
When you do this like pop-up type thing, is it like your shit alone, or is other pop-ups happening at some event, or how does it work? Like where do you
so
decide
basically
to do a
there's like a person that'll like there'll be like a street fair or else there'll be like a farmer's market or something like that, and then within those events happening then I'll have a booth at one of those. But along with those are just kind of like the local ones I do, but I also like travel. Like I have one coming up in September in Providence, Rhode Island, and that'll be just specifically for like the vintage t-shirt community and like the vintage people that are kind of looking for like more upscale and like higher end like vintage. Basically like this event's more like curated towards like people that already know about it, you know, where locally I'm like selling to people that don't really know about it. They're like, why is this t-shirt $100? Or like, why is this t-shirt like this or that, you know? So I'm like kind of like easing it into the community, like the area around here, giving them like kind of prices they can afford and just getting them stoked on something that's like older and just like recycled like fashion, you know, something that's not like mass produced and just like thrown out the next day, something that's like quality.
What does make a shirt $100 versus like a cool vintage? Because like I could picture just like a normal family walking by, like, oh, that's a neat shirt that should be $25. Why is it $250? You know, like what makes a shirt more valuable? Like rarity, quality, obviously.
Yeah,
those are the two answers.
Pretty much. So you'll go into like a Target nowadays and you'll go like, oh, there's a Led Zeppelin or else like a Ozzy tee or a Grateful Dead tee on the wall, you know. You're like, cool, whatever. So why is that one fucking $10 where this like Grateful Dead tour tee is $300, you know, or something of the sort? Basically comes down to like age. A lot of these like t-shirts have been like chopped up, turned into rags. So like the rarity of them just like popping up again is just becoming more and more scarce, you know? So basically it just comes down to these things are just not easy to get. They're super hard to find, and people are putting in, and when they are being found, people are putting in time and work and digging through like garbage and just junk to find these pieces, you know, that are special. And like it comes down to like also like the prints that are done on them are just such well made, like screen printing. It's almost like art, you know, for some of these original printed tees by these like certain companies, like Liquid Blue or The Mountain. Those are just two really like well-known brands, so people probably know what I'm talking about there. But then you'll fall into like companies like that rock bands are getting their stuff made by like it's like literally like professionally done screen printed. Like, dude, you can hold this up and it has like the craziest detail. Like somebody literally took a picture of something, you know, but it's all ink on a t-shirt. So it's that. It comes down to the garment, the quality of the garment itself. Like there's certain tags and certain like t-shirt like garment brands that like we know like right off the rip, oh, this is a quality tee, you know, this is going to add money because it's such a well-built t-shirt, you know, so soft, so like so it's just strong, you know, it's already lasted 30 something years and like this is already built like 10 times better than a shirt that was made yesterday. It'll last even longer, you know what I'm saying? So like that's another thing. And then comes down to like people that are on the t-shirt, how many of that t-shirt were possibly made if it was a limited drop. Like say that t-shirt was only released at, like, it popped into my head, like the 13, or sorry, I'll use this as an example. The Barbie movie just dropped. They made, at like certain theaters, they might have said, hey, first 50 people that come to our theater, you're getting this t-shirt. Boom.
Yeah.
Like right off the rip, if that, like they get that t-shirt, 20 years goes by and people are fiending for that t-shirt. New Barbie movie's coming out, dude. And you're going to want that t-shirt more than anyone out there. They're going to pay like money for it, you know? So that's an example of that. And like band tour tees, like, oh shit, yo, there's this guy that came up to me with a stack of these certain t-shirts in the parking lot. I got this like cool, like bootleg Ozzy tee, you know, from this guy in the parking lot, whatever. He only had like 50 of them. Boom. That's a super rare tee. And then 20 years down the road, the Ozzy collector's going to be like, I need every fucking Ozzy tee, dude.
Yeah.
And he's going to go out there and hunt it down and get them.
What's the craziest place you found like a gem? Like I'm just picturing you going to like old people's yard sales and
that's kind of cliche. Like that's like the norm, you know, like I'll go to like the estate sales, I'll go to the tag sale. I'll go to let's see, I'll dig in like rag houses sometimes. That's like an honor to do. That's another story though.
What's a rag house?
Digging, like, a rag house is basically where like a distribution center where all these clothes are getting sent to, and then sent before they get bailed up and sent to like different countries, you know, for whatever reason. It's basically you can go through and sift through stuff before it goes anywhere. So like the donations, like certain places I get to dig, sometimes they get sent right to that spot before anywhere, and then I get to like sift through it, you know, and do my thing, and you know, hopefully find some good. Sometimes you find nothing. You're digging for hours and hours, going through bales and bales. There's nothing, but sometimes you'll hit that awesome piece that just like made your week, you know.
It's like looking for
like
spots.
The year. Dude, exactly. That's what like one reason why I love vintage so much is like it shares so many qualities of BMX with like the Stoke, like with like finding a new sourcing spot. It's like finding the spot, like you just said. Yeah. And then once you're digging, that's like trying the trick, dude. Once you fucking pull that tee that you're like spent hours. Oh my god, spent hours. my really good tripod. Oh my god. So yeah. So yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah.
Once you spend hours digging,
like trying the spot or trying the clip, you know. And then, dude, once you pull that, it's like boom, you got that trick, and you're so fucking stoked. But then, like the best stoke, if you're trying to resell that tee or something, it's like, you know, when your video part gets put out, you know, you sell that tee, and you're like, yo, I just got that for $2. I sold it for $1,000. Like, holy shit! Like the feeling that you get from just like that is like, it's something special too. That's so dope. I don't know. I get all the same kind of qualities as I do from like the Stoke of BMX.
I love that. So what's the craziest one that what's the craziest story that you've had?
The craziest tee that I've found so far. Well, to answer your question earlier about the craziest like digging spots. Yeah. The craziest are like this new passion that I have is getting into like abandoned houses, and they're called bandos. And you go in and you don't know what you're going to get into, and you could end up finding a ton of stuff, or you could just find a bunch of fucking crackheads or needles or disgusting things. You know, you never know what you're going to get into. It's nuts. Or both. But yeah, exactly. Or both. So luckily I've had a good situation where I just got into one, and I've been finding some cool stuff. So it's been pretty cool with that. But yeah, abandoned houses are definitely like the most intense like searching that I'm doing right now. Hell pretty much. But like that's like the next step in this, in my opinion.
So how do you find these abandoned houses? You just drive around and
dude, it's honestly just like scouting, doing a little research possibly to see when a foreclosure happened, if there's anybody that's actually like tied to it anymore, because a lot of these places just end up being completely gone and sent to like the state or whatever, and they just rot away. Yeah, you know. So a lot of the stuff that I'm finding and going and saving, preserving for other people that would be super hyped to have this stuff, you know, I'm saving it from being basically just demolished and sent to nothing. As these like collectors or people that I'm like, they pass away and their stuff's just sitting in these barns or houses or shacks, just rotting, dude. And like they would be way more stoked, I think, to be able to share all those items with people, you know, and a brighter hindsight of what I'm doing, you know.
And they probably have no clue. They're just like, yeah, I went to that concert 30 years ago and got that t-shirt. Who cares? And you're like,
exactly. A lot of that is the situation. They'll have them tucked under their bed, and they'll just go until they like with them to their death.
They're like, you want that? No, you don't want that.
Yeah, right, exactly.
What's the biggest come up you've had?
Biggest come up I've had was 2021, I believe. It was kind of like when like thrift stores and stuff started opening up again, and there was I went to a Salvation Army that was local, and I walked in, and we didn't find. We were looking through the racks, I'm like, yo, let's go. This is whack. There's nothing. But then I see that they're wheeling out a new rack out the back, And I'm like, fuck it. All right, we're like in line about to like check out with trash, dude. Like stuff. We're just like, oh, we're gonna get this just to get something. And I see that, I'm like, you know what? I'm getting out of line. I'm gonna go check the rack. I run over there. I sift through it. I see like kind of like a 2012 Little Wayne tee. It's like nothing crazy. It's just like, okay, cool. And then I go to the next one, and I'm like, okay. And I go to the tag, and I just start shaking, dude. I'm just like, nah, like this is crazy. I end up pulling a Rough Riders Cash Money rap tour tee from 2000. So the rap tees are kind of like the more like valuable pieces in vintage. There's like books made after. It was just a certain dude that printed these t-shirts. Just a certain style of tee that was very limited and sold in like at bodegas and like small shops. So not a ton of them were being made. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, fuck, okay, this is crazy. And then time goes on. I just noticed that like everything's good with it. It has like the right tag, it has like the right build, the right print, everything. So that sits in my closet, and I end up getting $1,100 for it.
Yeah, dude, I'm looking online at the prices for these things. I'm like, God damn, $3,000,
Yeah,
$1,200,
bro.
3,000. That's crazy.
So that was like the biggest come up I've ever had. The most I've ever spent on an item was $1,000. Also, it was this one piece. I'll show you real quick. It's a really super famous movie, one of my favorite movies of all time. My favorite actors, everything. Natural Born Killers.
Yes, sir.
So this piece, let's see here. Yeah, this piece right here.
Nice. Hell yeah.
So you got Woody Harrelson and Julia on the front, and then on the back you have the track list of like all the tracks that are in there, the licensing and all that. To people, they're probably like, "What in the hell? You paid $1,000 for that?" But actually, like this T-shirt on the regular sells over for $1,500, and you can't really find them sold or online for like less than $2,000. I actually was able to cop this for, in my opinion, a steal. So it was just a wise investment, and also the chance to get one of my favorite pieces for honest, like a quote unquote affordable price.
Dude, I had no idea about this world until you just told me about it, basically.
Oh, awesome, dude. I'm hyped to hear that. I was stoked to introduce you to it.
How did you first get into it?
Dude. It's so nostalgic. Dude.
Yeah, that's so sick.
You got stuff like, because I'm a really big into like cartoons and stuff like that. I got the Great Gazoo.
Oh, wow. That's OG.
Which is like a wild piece. Just like,
yes.
That's stuff fire. They just don't make. They'll try to reproduce it, but it just isn't made like how it was, dude. Like the original stuff is just like, it's just quality. So yeah, dude, I don't know. That's just a little introduction to like the other life that I'm into outside of BMX. Like it's just a new stoke for me, and it like keeps everything fresh and helps out with the money side of things. And it's just it's a grind, and I love it. So yeah, here I love it, dude. Now as well.
Yeah. How long have you been like balls deep in this thing?
Since 2020, when like COVID hit. I know that's so cliche to say, whatever, but I needed something to do. And at that point in time, like I was thrifting a little bit, I was like getting introduced to it a little bit by my friends locally and stuff. But yeah, I moved out to Austin and started going to the bins, and I found a Grateful Dead t-shirt that was like one of my first sales, and I sold for over $100. I'm like, holy shit, you can actually do this. Like, this is crazy. I literally paid 50 cents for this thing at the bins, and I flipped it on this app for $100. I'm like, what the hell?
Yes, this is nuts.
And then like right after that, I got introduced to doing like people are doing not auctions but raffles. So I found like a cool Mike Tyson t-shirt. I linked up with this dude at the bins, just talking, just starting conversation, and he's like, hey dude, come over to my place and we'll do this raffle together live, and like it usually will go super well. And we combined our Tyson t-shirts together and ended up doing like a 30-10. Like we both took home like $150 from it real quick as well. So that was fun. And then after that, this dude, Chris, 1980 something, he created this like live auction, like just movement, dude. It's crazy. Like a whole community of everybody that was like super into t-shirts started doing these live auctions every weekend, where like I would go on for, say, exactly like we are right now. I would have an hour set. I would go through, show my item, and then there'd be people bidding on Instagram Live, putting their numbers in,
Huh.
and just bidding up the t-shirts. And like at the end of it, you'd pay through like PayPal or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
So that just
Damn.
like took over, and then that's like where I was just like, you know what, like I'm traveling now doing this shit. Like I'm going to California, I'm going to Arizona, I'm going to I'm going all over the country like I do for riding. I'm now traveling, going to events like these huge places where we're all just linking up, buying and trading t-shirts. It's
That's so good, dude.
It's crazy, dude. Yeah, it's just like there's a whole other world. I'm telling you, it's wild.
That's amazing.
So, yeah.
Oh shit. Well, hit me up when you come to Arizona, man. I'll come.
Dude, I
come
definitely
to
will.
To a vintage.
100%.
What's it?
Yeah,
What's it even called?
Out there.
Flipping vintage. Even
flipping
the lingo
vintage,
you
man.
use.
Yeah, flipping vintage.
You're digging. You're going to bandos. I'm picking it up. You're going to bins.
Dude, yeah, you're
bins,
natural.
live auctions.
You're gonna be thrifting in no time. Looking probably for these tees.
Oh, that's so good. I'll have to buy one from you. I don't even know what, but maybe
dude, yeah, like
grab one.
If you want, a thing I do for people is I'm like, yo, tell me your size and like genres you like, and like send me, $50 and I'll send you 5 t-shirts out.
Fire, dude. Let's go.
And it'll be all vintage t-shirts, like they're not gonna be like the grail $100 tees, but you're gonna get some really cool, fun stuff. Yeah, you're gonna be stoked on.
That's what's up.
That's over 20 years old. So
yeah. Speaking of old, how old are you?
34. I always want to say 35, but I'm just excited for 35. I'm not like in a rush for it, but I just feel like 35 is going to be a good year for me. So yeah, 34 is what I have right now.
That's a great attitude. Everybody's like, I don't want to get older. Oh shit, I'm going to be 35 next year. But you're like, this is going to be the best year of my life.
Dude, if I just keep hopefully I keep on keeping on, dude, and I just keep learning new shit. I try to keep learning new shit all the time and keeping it fresh. So I'm excited for whatever's to come, dude. If I'm going to get older, but bring it on. I just want to keep learning and just doing cool stuff and progressing.
You said it, man. Learning is, I think that's key. Like you keep exercising your brain and body and you're going to be young forever,
That's the goal, brother. That's the goal.
Speaking of learning new shit,
is telling us different,
yeah, for real. It is like my mom always had this sticker on her fridge. How old would you be if you didn't know how old you are? And I always thought, I was like, that's a stoner thought, Mom. You're a fucking stoner.
That is a stoner thought.
But it's a good one. I think I'm younger now than I was when I was 29.
That's a good bumper sticker.
Yeah.
Did you say it was a bumper sticker?
No, it was on my mom's fridge. So
on the fridge.
Some sort of sticker.
That could be a bumper sticker too.
Yeah, for real. What's the last thing you learned on your bike?
Dude, at the Albany Jet, I learned a new trick that I was so stoked on. I got to give credit, I think, to Julian. I saw him do something similar in his story recently-ish, I think. Don't quote me, but if it is true, I got to give credit to him. But the Tire Ride 180 drop ice 180.
Ooh, nice.
Feels so good, dude. And when you commit to it, it just kind of works. Like it falls right into it and it spins you right out. It was such a cool feeling. So that made me feel young again when I laced that at the gym. I was like, yes, this is such a good feel. You get that feeling that you're like, this is why I do this shit.
For real.
So
it's
felt
been
good
so
to learn
long.
something new. Back to learning.
It's been a while since I've learned something new on my bike. Like I'm kind of just trying to relearn the old shit because I took a serious little break. But I was gonna say Julian who? Never heard of him. Fucker won't come on this podcast, Julian.
Oh God, get out here, brother. Get out here. The world needs to hear your voice.
Oh shit. But yeah, I took a serious break, and then it's the past couple of years has just been relearning the old tricks, which feels good. I just learned how to 540 cab again, and and that's one of the first things that I was.
You got to do that, dude. If you want to get back and strong on your bike, because there's so many people that they're get injured or they get off it for a bit and then they go full 100%. Yep. And dude, they can't handle it. Their body can't handle it, and they break down and just get hurt, or else they just get they're just nah, I'm sore the next day for the next week. This sucks.
Yeah.
So it's good that you're doing that. That's I got to keep telling myself every time I'm getting back at it. I'm yo, just ease into it. Basics, yep. Just get your strength back before you start twisting and turning too much.
For real though,
So,
it's crazy the biking muscles. Like they're so specific. Like if you don't ride
dude, they're
for a
so
couple weeks,
specific.
like yeah.
Oh my god,
Like
the
why
biking
is
muscles,
how
man.
is
Because
this
we don't
sore?
get. Yeah, it's strange, man. I mean, that's like with anything, honestly. Like any new activity you do, you're like, oh wow, I had muscles there. That's crazy. Like
Yeah.
it's interesting. It's fun. That's why
I
it's also
think
cool getting into like different things and doing different shit too.
right. What about like exercise shit outside of BMX? Are you doing anything?
Dude, it's such like a discipline, self-discipline thing. It's just like it's so hard. Like I keep like for the past, I got injured pretty bad towards the end of maybe like early May. I like tweaked my knee really bad, and then got healthy, and then threw my back out, and then tweaked my knee again.
Damn.
Or like it wasn't even a tweak the third time. Dude, it smashed against my stem so bad that I caused like a knot in my tendon and like threw my knee out of line. It was fucked, and I'm still dealing with a kind of a click now. But back
This is
to
just a
that,
couple months ago.
it was
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm
Okay.
just like now easing back into like riding. That's why I have not like I haven't been like putting too much stuff out just because I've been trying to heal really. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Well,
been
good, dude.
nice
It
though.
takes
Like,
time.
it takes time, dude. But like, I'm sitting here like all stressed the hell out. I'm like, dude, am I not doing enough? Am I like, I gotta ride. I gotta put more clips on Instagram. I just like drive myself crazy. But I'm a little better with it lately. So
Hell yeah. It's so easy to drive yourself nuts thinking about that shit. Like
oh my
especially
god,
like being a pro like you are, it's just like what is am I doing enough? But dude, legislation just came out. That shit was fire. How long has it
really
been since
stoked
that
on
came
that.
out? We've been talking about doing this since that came out. It's been like 2 weeks.
Yep. Yeah. It was like 3 weeks ago now, I think.
Dude, that's
Um,
forever in internet world, man. That's so last year,
forever.
bro.
It's basically just like gone. Like you can't even get to it now. It's so far gone.
So let's talk about legislation.
All
Right?
right.
It's legislation, right?
Yeah, legislation. Yep.
Well,
I was
first of
gonna
all,
originally call it breaking legislation, but that's not. It was like a little too much, Just because we are like, well, legislation's kind of like the law-ish, right? Like it's like where like breaking legislation is like kind of like breaking the rules and the law and like kind of what we do already, anyways.
yeah.
So, but yeah, legislation we ended up coming up with, and I like it. It's sick. I'm
First of
stoked.
all, did you get my comments? Legendary.
Yeah,
What other?
everyone, dude. You were so quick with those, dude. I was dying.
Ledge is such a fun one to
I
come up with puns
appreciate it
for.
really.
Oh
Those
man,
were those were gold.
I
You
wish I
you
I wish I could
definitely
remember them right
earned your
now.
gold stars with that one.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So how did that project start and why? Like, because I think I met up with you guys while you were on a trip in Phoenix, and it was kind of like
Yeah.
it's Kramus and then everybody there, and I was like, so you guys doing like a trip video? And you're like, nah, everybody's working on their own shit, and I was like,
Yeah.
cool.
I think at the time like themed videos were just popping around in like the office and like kind of around, and I was like, well, like it'd be really cool to like do an all ledge edit, just something I just really enjoy riding. And when I thought of like a ledge edit, I was like a lot of like ledge riding is like super technical stuff just on a flat ledge, and I was like, yo, there's so much more like architecture to a ledge than just like it being a flat ledge. Like I want to like really show that in a video, and just like go along with like what I look for like while riding, so it like kind of complemented each other. And I was like, all right, like, and I also like low key was like, yo, it's just ledges, so like no stress, you don't gotta like do any rails or go like too big, so like it'll be a chill project.
Yeah.
So I was like, sick, this is gonna be dope, it'll be a quick thing. I'm like in my head like thinking, and then it ended up being like I don't really have anybody to film with at home. Like I only filmed with Zach really,
Mm-hmm.
and I filmed a couple clips with Mastroni because we did some like personal trips where we just like went on and cruised like some cities together. And also like I don't know, just like so basically, yeah, I don't even know what I was talking about there, but basically I only got to film on trips. So I'd basically go out to Cali for like a week, film for a week. Zach would come out to Pittsfield for a week, would film for a week. So I got to do that like I think 4 or 5 times over the course of 2 years. So that was pretty much like the timeline of that. And it was originally going to be like a ledge edit straight from the beginning. It always was going to be a ledge edit. And yeah, it just ended up coming together. And towards the end of it, I just kept getting like tweaked or just hurt a little bit, or just things weren't working out. I was just getting so frustrated. I really wanted to like use excuse me, both songs, the full both songs, and have like around like a 5 to 6 minute part or like four, whatever.
Yeah.
But we're just like, you know what? It's like a theme video. Like, let's just put it out. Like, you know, I was stoked on like what I had, and I was happy with the last trick and stuff, being like a hometown hitter and whatnot. Um, so I was like, but you know, let's get it out. And Zach whipped up so fast in like such a good way, and he killed it on the edit, dude. I was so
He's
stoked on it.
incredible,
So
dude.
I was really gassed.
I loved it, man. It was great, and I really love
Appreciate
ledges.
that.
So, and you know, you're right about like the architecture of ledges. Like it's some everybody who's listening can definitely agree. Like just driving around when you see a dope ledge, that's you know, it's special. You know, it's so weird
It
that
is,
like, we
man.
look at ledges to the layman person. They're like, "What the hell are you staring at?" I almost get in car accidents like constantly, just looking over at.
Oh
Shit.
my god, rubberneck and just like, dude,
Yeah.
all the time, all the time. But yeah, it's cool with a ledge too. Is like, it's like why is there just a rectangular like just block on the ground? Like it's
Yes.
just like such a weird thing that like, that's what we're gonna build for people to put their butts on.
Yeah.
You know, like like it just like works out so perfect for us. You know, that
And why do they exist so much? Oh, this is a genuine question. Like, why does Cali have so many spots, and then like Phoenix, you have to drive 20 minutes to a spot? Like, why or other places don't have spots? Why does Cali have so many spots? Is what I'm asking.
I think it's just because it's more congested, right? There's just more like fill there, right? Is
I
just
think
like
that
there's
yeah, that makes
less like
sense.
openness. Like Arizona definitely has some openness to it, you know.
Yeah,
I might sound dumb saying that, but that's what I'm thinking.
it's
Like
sprawled
I don't
out.
really,
Yeah,
yeah, it's sprawled out pretty far. And like you think about like towns out by me, like it's really congested in a little town, but then you drive 30 to an hour out and you're just in woods.
yeah.
And then you're into another little town where it's super congested. It's got to be just like what's
There's
like how the
so
city
many
is in general. It's
fucking
just such a
people, dude.
busy, big, yeah. It's just there's so much going on out there, and there's just so much like new happening all the time, and like people competing with other people to make their spot, or they're like building and property like that much cooler than the other person, and then you
Right.
have like skaters and bikers that are now architects and like
For real, yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like construction workers are building all these spots that are like, oh, this would be sick. Like, yeah, this will look beautiful on your building. This will cause like
Put this
a glare
transition
this
by
way.
your
So
front door.
yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
We'll tranny out these walls so water will flow off them better.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
shit like that, you know.
Oh shit. Where have you ever lived there in Cali?
There was like a period where I lived there, maybe like max like 6 months in Long Beach at the OSS house.
Yeah. Were you there when I came out for my little internship? Yeah, you were.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
100%. That's what because that's also Josh Betley came out and visited
Yep.
you during that time too, and then this kid that I was hanging out with back in the day, Chris Wilkie, also.
Yes. Love Chris. I
Yeah.
just saw him in the
So
background of a clip from that video and I was like, what's his fucking name? I forget. And he got the
Yup.
dagger tattoo from Catfish, right?
yes,
Yes.
dude. Yes.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's all coming back.
Yeah, I just remember chilling in that living room on the couches. That's like the only thing I can really remember.
Me too. It's all such like little. I remember Adam fucking yelling at me to get up, KANODE, like because I would just sleep the hell in. I would sleep until 11 if they
Yeah,
let
we
me.
all were. We were
Yeah.
just fucking slumping, man.
And Gabe Brooks would show up at the house at like 8 a.m. just
Mhm.
ready to go. Already got his workout in, and I remember I'm filming him from behind that couch, and he turned around and did this to the camera, and I was like shaking. I was like, oh my god, he's actually used that finger to pull a trigger. Like I'm so scared. He's so gangster.
Definitely a different breed that we were used to for sure.
Dude, he's such a legend. Rest in
So
peace.
blessed to be in his presence, dude.
Right?
R.I.P. a good boy, by the way. Like
Yeah.
shit, Gabe was the goat. Man. I love
Man.
Gabe so many funny times with that dude.
Shit. So that's technically you lived in California for a bit. That's cool. Have you lived
Yeah,
anywhere
for a
else?
little bit.
What was your
Um,
trajectory? Tell me your life story, Jake.
BMX racer, then got into dirt, got into street, and then
Well, let's not
once I
skip over
graduated high
BMX racing, dude. Hold on. Let's talk about BMX racing to start. How old were you? Who got you into it?
So I gotta give credit to my pops. He had a couple buddies, or he had a buddy that had kids racing in the local track. He's like, "Yo, you gotta try this out," because I just like whipped around the neighborhood, hitting like little crate jumps and all that shit. Saw rad, so I was like, I knew what it was kind of. I was like super hyped on it, but it wasn't anything serious. So my dad's like, yo, like you should try going to the track. And then I got super stoked on that. It was cool. I was like really hyped, had my helmet on. I went to get my bike, like make sure they went through, everything was good. Got my number. It was 154. Um, and yeah, got on the gate, got up there, pedaled my bike, flipped over the handlebars, ate shit. First moto, just dead, dude. Fucking, I was bawling my eyes like a little kid, crying for my dad. He comes running up, fucking grabs me, and then takes me off the course. I'm like, fuck racing. This sucks, you know. I'm done. So then, like a couple of years go by, and there's this new track up in Vermont called KANODE BMX that opens up. And I'm like, fuck, here we go. Like somebody, one of my family members like put in my ear, I think it was my grandmother, and they're like, hey, like this new track over, do you want to try it again? And I'm like, oh no, I don't know. And like at this point I've been still biking, like jumping, doing like bigger jumps and gaps, you know. So I'm
How
like,
old are you at this point?
I'm 8 at this point.
Okay, got it.
So I end up going there, and I think it's like right around my night, like no, not my 9th birthday. Yeah, I'm 8 at this point. So I get up there, I sign up, I get there and I find out that it's a fucking regional race. All right. So it's just something a little more intense. There's better riders there from all over the state. Okay. Like the states are like surrounding states. So I'm like, okay, cool. I sign up and do all this shit. I'm a rookie. I'm like a 8 rookie, whatever. I get up on the gate, and dude, I end up fucking winning the entire, like all the motos and the Wayne and everything. I'm just like juiced from like, yo, this is sick. This is like made by calling. Like I got this new bike now. I love it. Like I'm ripping. This is sick. And then, yeah, it just kind of took off from there, dude, where I just like went to all the races every weekend, and I got into doing regional races and the nationals. And I ended up finding myself racing in Kentucky at the Grand Nationals and getting a number plate and all that stuff.
Damn.
I wasn't like a star at it, but like I was expert, a 12X. I think I got 12th that year at Kentucky for like the whole like national, like a national.
At 9 years
12.
old?
No, this was 12. At this point, I was 12 expert, and yeah, I got 12 number plate, which was really good in that class. So,
dude, hell yeah,
that was pretty sick. I was stoked on that for sure. But then time just went on, dude, and I was just, the pressure just sucked, dude. I didn't want to like. It wasn't even anybody like putting pressure on me. It was just my own pressure and being like kind of nervous on a gate, being around people, and just kind of being a little more timid. You know, I don't know, like. Call me a pussy, whatever, but I just like I'm over. I just don't like this competition anymore. And like, a lot of these races, dude, they'd have like a kicker or like a dirt jump in the background or in the woods or something. Like I'd way more rather be there, like trying turn downs and like no footers off these like gap jumps, you know, just like whatever, like almost missing my motos, pissing off my parents and stuff. So it's just like, I don't know. And at that time, I ended up winning a raffle where the movie Thunder came about. I think that was Ride's first video that they put out, and don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure Thunder was. And yeah, dude, just like seeing Lucky just grinding and just like all these crazy like legendary dirt riders and just people shredding outside of like racing. Yeah. And I was just so turned on by that. I was just like, yo, this is literally like what I want to do. This is the sickest shit. These people look like they're having so much fun, and like it's so unique. Like everybody's so different in this video. It's crazy to me, you know. Yeah. Or like I'm so used to just pedal, pump, go, fast, win. That's like all I knew at that time, really. Besides just like messing around. So really, that video put me on like just jumping and street and all that stuff. And then started getting really into digging. Met a bunch of buddies out in Manchester, Vermont. Just ended up going out there every weekend. My grandfather and grandmother would just drive me every weekend, like an hour up into Manchester, Vermont. And I would just kick it with these like 4 homies, like every weekend, dude. It was Grady Madison, Todd Smith, and Devin Cross. Like those were like, and Rick Goddard. Those were like the dudes that like it was like that, you know, like you have a group of friends that those are your riding buddies. Those are the people you're coming up with. Like you're learning everything with these people. Your first bar spins, you're like their first 360, like everything. So that just like molded me. We're watching all the videos, dude. We're picking out favorite riders. My buddy Devin rode exactly like Edwin. Like my buddy Grady was like obsessed with Stephen Hamilton. Like I was obsessed with Kevin Porter at the time. So we're like all just mimicking these riders, just getting so stoked on BMX. And at that point, we started going to like La Revolution contests, like FBM Ghetto Street comps. Like we're starting to like travel a little bit. Our parents are seeing that like we're into this, and there's like contests going on and like events and shit. So yeah, we're just starting to go to those. And then at that point in time, I'm meeting people like Darren Mean, who owns like Man Made, and like Steve Crandall. And I'm just like getting out, branching out and meeting all these new people, getting into like the community a little bit. And then the FBM Ghetto Street Comp, the last one, my bike got stolen as I was going up to collect my prizes. I ended up getting third at that event, which was like in like an AM contest. Dude, I was so fucking hyped. I was so happy.
Yeah,
Went to go get my prizes, came back, bike was gone. Nobody had anything to say. It was like, oh, sorry, buddy. I'm like, God fucking damn it. I was like so bummed. I was like, fuck it, whatever. Yeah, it sucks. So at that point in time, then I'm like just moping around, chilling, and then I end up like running into like Steve Courteau and like all of his friends from New York. And we just kind of click and start talking and whatever. And I got like his AOL. And then I just started talking to Steve on AOL like every day. You know, we'd be like trying to just like talking BMX, send videos, whatever. And he was like, yo, you got to come out to New York sometime. I'm like, fuck. Like, I'm like probably like, I don't know, fucking 11 to 13 at this point.
Yeah.
And
I think the last FBM Ghetto comp that I just looked up, that your name is in like the description is for like an amateur result type thing, is 2003. And
okay,
so you're 13, 14?
Okay, so 13 or 14. Okay, yeah. So I'm that age. I'm like this. I'm not getting the chances to go to New York City by myself. You know, like I still have to have my grandfather drive me out there. He's like a G. He was down to like bring me wherever. He's just loved it. You know, it's so cool. But so like that's 3 hours from here. You know, so he's driving me 3 hours, drops me off with Steve Courteau in fucking New York, then drives 3 hours back, comes and gets me Sunday, drives 3 hours and drives 3 hours back.
Damn, dude. Hell yeah.
He was a trooper. He's a trooper to have. R.I.P. my Gramps. He's Bill Seeley, William Seeley. He's a fucking real one, dude.
What a guy.
And it's cool too because a lot of people in the BMX community will definitely know that name because he was always right there with me, like just like in the beginning of it. Was sick. So
that is sick.
Yeah, so in New York City, I go out there with Steve-O, and he's so good at introducing you to people. Like he just knows everybody, you know. So at this point, he's just like introducing me to like all these people all over the city. Like the first time I met Adam, like I didn't even have pegs on my bike, you know. And I was riding like an Tony Cordona's deployer FBM frame, brake cable, like all that shit, you know. First time in the city, I'm just like getting so like I'm just like amazed by like the styles out there, just that much like hecticness going on, this buildings, just like everything that like New York has to offer, you know. And I'm just like, holy shit, this is like I fuck with this. This is dope. So as time goes on, like not even like that long, like maybe a couple weeks, and then like we go out street riding, and I put a front peg on my bike, and then I ended up like Smith grinding up this rail like as like during some like session we had. I was with like Adam and Steve-O, and
what you just said? You put a front peg on your bike? You didn't even put a back?
Yeah, so I put a front peg on my bike before anything. So there was a point in time when I was riding with just one front peg on my bike.
And did you say you smith a rail?
What the fuck? So like I was like at that point in time, like you know, I could like double peg it, feeble grind, but I was like so into this, like because I was the point where I really like sweated Kevin Porter, and I rode no pegs for a while.
Yeah.
And there was just that was like just like an era where it was like pegless brakes, like you know, like coping dancing, just like that type of like random style. But yeah, as time when I got into the city life, like I was like, yo, I'll put a peg on, you know, whatever. I put it on and like doing a little bit of things here and there. And then, yeah, we just come up to this rail and I don't have a back peg. So how am I going to grind up the rail? So I'm just like, fuck it. I'll try smithing it. And I ended up just working out. And like, I was like, damn, like that felt sick. I love that. That was so cool. And then after that, I ended up putting 2 pegs on. And then as time went on, like kind of towards like props era, I threw on the 3rd peg and I had 3 pegs on, kind of like my props bio era.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, then it was 4. Yeah, then once I put 4 on, then I was stuck, obviously. And now I'm like obsessed with grinding. It was like racing, dirt, ramp, tech, and now I'm just like love tech street riding. So it's where I'm at now.
You do a damn good job of tech. I mean, you're skipping over like 10, 14 years of professional career right now, but I love
I didn't say much about.
And then 1, 2, skip a few, and we're here. It's 2023.
But so that's more the lines of like what like riding type I was into.
I love that.
So
different eras.
Around 2000. Okay, so then shit starts happening where like in that era where there's like it was like FBM Ghetto Street Comp and going to New York often. I ended up meeting like Frank Macchio and like people that were like locals in New York, and then got introduced more to like that scene, Queen scene, and then Darren was like, "Wow, like, dude, we got to get you, like, you know, you want to be part of Man-Made," and I was just like, "Dude, this is like an honor." Like that was my first like real big sponsor or bigger sponsor
I
with Man-Made
remember,
clothing.
dude. I remember
And at
Man-Made
that
and
time,
Jake
Man-Made was a
Seeley.
big company, dude. Which so
Yeah.
and like I was just like a random kid from the Northeast that was like riding BMX, you know, out here just, and that was like an honor to be on that team. It was so sick. So like time went on like with that, we're just like filming some stuff and videos, and Garrett Reynolds ended up getting put on the team, and we're going on some trips together, filming like a little split video part for Man-Made and whatnot, which was pretty fun. And that being or getting introduced to Garrett, then that was like a whole another era of just like people I met like out in like Toms River, New Jersey area, and started traveling with all these different people to like Baltimore and all over the country. We just pack up into my fucking Chevy Blazer and just send it off, dude. Like we packed like 10 people into that thing, dude. I don't even know how it was like rolling, honestly. It was crazy.
Just doing it.
So, dude, just doing it, bro. And at that point in time, this company out of Scotland, I believe it was Scotland, called Alone Bikes, hit up Darren. It was like, "Hey, like, do you have any US riders that you'd want, like, that we could, like, you know, put on a loan and like start hooking up?" And he like mentioned me and Frank, and we ended up getting put on this like cool like little parts company out of Scotland called Alone, and they sent me out there to like England and go like do all this really cool stuff. We filmed a music video for Bats for Lashes.
What?
Yeah,
Cool.
that was really cool. We're like all wearing like animal heads in it and like doing bike tricks down the road, and like as like spooky fog and music's happening. It was a pretty cool experience. Like
Fuck yeah.
when you're 18, just about to graduate high school, like that's like the shit, dude. I didn't even like for that trip, dude. I didn't even graduate high school because I wanted to go on that trip.
Yeah, dude. Fuck graduating. I'm going to Europe. That's
Exactly.
amazing.
Like it was
yeah.
the last 2 weeks of school. Like there was mad stuff that needed to be done. I'm like, yo, like this life experience is gonna be so much more important to me than this book work. Like,
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'll come back to summer school and finish those 2 weeks, but I am going and I'm out. Fuck
Yes.
y'all. I'm out. And
That's
it's the
what's
best
up.
decision I've ever made in my life. Like,
100%. Alone is what it was called in Scotland?
Yeah, Alone BMX. Yep. And
Cool.
so what was cool about them, they were distributed by the same company or the same like house as Sunday Odyssey.
Ah.
So I had a really good trip. I filmed a bunch of cool God, I did not mean to say that. I filmed a bunch of stuff that I was like stoked on, and shot a bunch of really cool photos that I've never had like photos in magazine before, so I was like so gassed. I had like one of the opening pages in Ride UK doing like a fakie whip in this like famous kind of like half pipe thing out there,
Sick.
which I was so gassed on that. And yeah, so I ended up getting a lot of coverage and having a really good trip and just meeting a bunch of cool people. I think I did pretty well at this contest that happened out there. What's the one like bigger skate park that opened up in Scotland? That's like
Unit 23?
Yeah, so OG Unit 23. I was there for the opening of that.
Huh.
And they had a huge jam to like kind of like, hey guys, like this is the spot. And yeah, I ended up doing pretty well on that. And so I don't know, word got out when I got back to Jim, and like I kind of knew Jim from Woodward already, being a young kid and like looking up to a pro when he's visiting pro at Woodward, so like we've chatted and stuff. But then like I don't know, dude, I guess this word came about and I ended up getting a phone call like, "Hey Jake, blah blah blah, this and that is like happening with like the distribution, whatever, like would you want us to send you a frame, fork, and bar?" And I'm just like, dude, I'm like, jeez. I run upstairs after the phone call, like, "Grab, Sunday Bikes, hit me up to fucking ride one of their frames. This is insane." And it was that mustardy kind of yellow frame, fork, and bar, the cream color. And that was like my first Sunday build, dude.
I was obsessed with those. Like that reminds me of Ian Schwartz.
Fuck yeah, they had
the rib down tube,
toothpaste colored ones.
Yeah, dude, the golden
purple.
Well, I want to say golden era, but like Sunday's great for all eras. But I loved.
Yeah,
for me, that was my favorite era. Yeah, so good.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's super nostalgic. That era. Yeah. When you think of Sunday, that's definitely like a mid school BMXers. That's the first thing they're gonna think about. Same with like the Vinny Salmon frame, dude. That one was so good.
The salmon, the light blue, whatever. Oh, and Ian would rock
Um,
the white. Did you ever go on a trip with Ian Schwartz? You must have.
yes, dude. Yeah, while we were filming Grow Up, I got to catch a couple of trips with Ian, dude. He was such a chiller, dude. He would just chill the whole trip until he saw that one fucking spot he knew he had to hit. And when he
Nice.
saw that spot, he just got up and just handled business in like a couple of tries, sat back down and just chilled the rest of the time, dude. It was crazy.
Yeah,
Most
chilling,
mellow
man.
dude I've ever met, straight up.
I'm trying to remember like the drama. I don't. We're not about the drama on this podcast, but what happened with Ian Schwartz?
I don't know enough to speak on it, honestly. I
Me
would love
neither.
to give us some tea, but I don't know enough about it.
Ain't got no teeth. So what year is this that Jim hits you up and you're on Sunday? It's wild how long you've been rocking with them.
It might be like 2005. Would that make sense?
Yeah, sounds about right.
About 2005, because then Grow Up came out around 08 and 9, and in
Wait, isn't Grow
07.
Up the most recent one?
Oh, I'm sorry. Up and Away. I'm so sorry. I keep saying Grow Up. My bad. Not okay. So Up and Away came out in 2009. So I got put on. Yeah, I got put on in 2007. So Jim C hits me up. He knows that I snowboard. He snowboards. He's like, "Yo, you want to go ride Jiminy?" Like that's a local. He's like, "I'm gonna come up to Jiminy Peak. Are you down to like link up with me out there?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, dude! It's like a local mountain. Like, I might be like not remembering this exactly, but I'm kind of just playing it out how I remember it." So yeah, he ends up coming up to the mountain. We were shredding them. We're just ripping the mountain for like until close basically, and he's like, "Yo, I want to go get some grub." We end up going to this local spot called the Old Forge. We end up sitting down, catching a good meal, having some great conversations, and everything just seemed like fucking. It was like we like known each other forever, And this is like my first time really getting down and like talking to Jim and like like conversating like face to face, whatever. So I'm like pretty intimidated, He's like a legend in the game.
Of course, yeah.
I'm just a young kid. I'm like, nah, this is crazy as fuck. And then as we go back to the cars, he whips out a fucking envelope and he just hands me the contract.
Nice.
I can't remember if it happened I just remember like him pulling out an envelope. It was either at the mountain or after dinner, and it had the contract, and it's like, "Hey, would you like to be pro for Sunday?" And
damn.
yeah, it started like that, dude, and fucking been there ever since. Been through so many generations of Sundays.
For real,
so
dude.
I feel like. So
man,
it's an honor.
It's much
cool.
changes.
So much changes, dude. It's wild to see all the changes. I'm just like super fucking stoked that I'm still here and repping with a dope company like Sunday. I don't know.
Imagine that like dinner doesn't go well, and it's just like he's just reserving the right to not give you that envelope. You just start like spitting in his food or something. Like you get mad and beat him up. He just
leaves. He's like, "Well, all right,
that didn't work out."
Throws it out the window. It's like the movie pans to the envelope on the ground.
That
song comes on.
Yep. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Exactly.
Oh shit!
But so luckily, the movie went the right route.
Yeah, dude. The movie's still going. Mm-hmm. Shit. So, tell me about early days about being on Sunday and Odyssey. Like, or was it? It was just Sunday first, and then
it was just Sunday. I was never on Odyssey, but like being under the same roof and not having like a hard sponsor or anything. Like at the times, like they would always help you out. Make sure you roll. That's dope. So that was sick. That was always dope. But with them, they never really hesitated with that stuff at all. If you needed a part, like they're gonna hook you up. They want to make sure that even if you're just Sunday, they want to make sure you're rolling and happy. Well,
first, let me ask, what is Jim's? Does he own Sunday and Odyssey? Jim Selinski?
No. Nope.
What is?
No, there's role? Different owners for the brands, and then you have like the office people and stuff like that. It's just like. Yeah, but Jim, I don't know the situation with Jim, if he has share in the company still, or certain parts or certain ideas, or if there's anything of that sort. I don't really, I wish I knew more about like the backsides of stuff, and I hope to learn more about like the back ends of certain things to, learn more about like kind of like what's after.
Like, they go hand in hand. Jim's name and Sunday.
100%. It might have been something where he sold the company and now he's chilling. Maybe he's getting royalties or something of the sort. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah. Either way, what was your like first big trip with them, or your first big memory? Like, was meeting Aaron Ross a big deal for you?
Yeah. Aaron, honestly, yeah, Aaron Ross, like right from like OG like Empire video,
Yeah,
with like fiddle in the band like song, and
yeah.
like gotta have a fiddle in the band, like that shit. Like, dude, as soon as I saw that video part, I was like, yo, I'm a fan of this dude. Like, he's got this clinking ass like hub guard off his bike. He's doing like the craziest like grind to like whips and like just the wildest spots. Like, I can get down with this dude, and he was shit footed, and like just like there's
Mm-hmm.
just so much like that I could like relate to in a way that yeah, I was like so attracted to Aaron's riding. It was so sick.
He was the
So
first one I saw do a manual three done a stair set. I
oh
still
my
remember
god,
like the
yeah,
specific clip. It's like a five
dude, yeah,
stair
you think I
manual
could
around a
think of
five stair.
this
Like,
exact one.
yeah, sheesh.
Oh my god, I always remember too the huge like ice pick on the wall of the 270 into
Mm-hmm.
the bank. I mean, that's not like a crazy groundbreaking trick, but the way he did it, it was just like on that
He's a
spot, dude, it was like a
monster.
big wall.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's a
it
fucking
was sick.
monster. Yeah.
And then the feeble whip down the ledge there, just like clamps his legs together as hard as
Yes.
he can at the
Yep.
ground, just like clinky ass bike. Dude, it was sick.
He got shit done. I wish I
Yeah,
like. Actually, I don't wish anything. I enjoyed the shit watching. I enjoyed the shit out of watching all of his videos when they came out. Like this, and you're talking pre-hustling days. This is
free hustling. Like, I don't even
yeah,
know what bike company he rode for days. Like,
yeah.
he was just
Just a
a
good
new
old
ride,
boy
up
from
and coming
Texas, you
rider.
know? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
so
right.
rad.
So yeah, like
He's another
I
story.
was a
Like,
fanboy, dude. Like with Aaron, like I it was tough with Aaron because I didn't know how to talk to him, and like I was like always intimidated kind of around him. So I kind of like always put myself in a weird situation where I was just like too
eh,
shy to like really like get to know Aaron in a certain way, like
hi,
even
Aaron.
throughout this like whole time. Um, so that's kind of like how like my relationship with Aaron is, and like, and there was like a point in time when I was like going to his house all the time, but like I felt like I was like walking into a professional bike rider's house, like a legend house, and I was like, "Fuck! Like I shouldn't be here." Like like I don't know if I should be here. This is like too cool. Like I got like there's like Chase Hawk, there's Aaron, there's like Sean Sexton. Like it was just like the pro house in Austin, and like I
Yeah,
got the chance to go there a few times, and like that was just like surreal to me at the time. Like
hundred
I was just
percent.
like, holy shit, like these people, like I'm in the house with like these people. This is crazy. And this is like the first time like really getting out and like away from home and like traveling and shit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
to like a place where I'm living on my own now and shit. Cause I lived in Austin. I've been going back and forth to Austin since I was like 16 every winter. And there was a point when I lived there for like a couple of years or like 3 years at a time. So
Nice.
it's like, that's like a home away from home 100%.
Hell
So
yeah.
I got to experience a lot of cool things out there. But yeah, like that's like early Sunday days. Like even that era, that was like trying to think. Like I would ride with Aaron, but it wasn't like we were even on the same team. I was like the younger kid, and he was like the pro. And like I don't know, like we just didn't ride all the time together, but we were still like super cool and would see each other at sessions. But yeah, I never had like a really strong relationship with him just because I was like a little like too scared to like maybe open up a friendship with Aaron. I always just think of him as a mentor and like the dude.
He's Aaron Ross. Yeah, I felt the
Yeah,
same way. He came over to my house. I was like, get out of my head. Like, oh fuck,
right.
Aaron Ross is sitting in my living room. What the fuck? This
Yeah,
is crazy.
man. He's the man. I
He's
love
just
it.
a really nice guy. He's kind of a goofball. I love it. Same with you.
Oh fuck
Fucking
it, yeah.
goofball. Everybody's a
Yeah.
fucking goofball, dude. I mean, there's some dudes that are like cool as shit, and it's weird to be like. Brad Sims is pretty fucking cool. Him being on my couch, that was a different story. I was like, oh my god, there's
Yeah,
Brad
man.
Sims right there. It's nuts. But who did you, so you didn't have a like close relationship with Aaron Ross? So what? Who did you have a close relationship with on Sunday in the early days?
Oh my god, it was like, and I can't remember. It was like 09 to like 11. It was like Eric Lichtenberg and like Alex Magellan. We were like the three musketeers, dude. We were just like would get into so much like this random mischief at night. We would ride like feed off each other every trip. We'd be wrestling. We'd be fun. It was like we were like just like all like little like brothers, dude. We would just like cause so much chaos on these trips, and just driving Jim crazy and like everybody crazy, just like being wild men, dude. Just like I don't know. There's so many of just like crazy situations and
Those dudes
times
are
I've had
both
with those
incredible
dudes.
bikers. Like they're
Incredible bike
yeah,
riders, dude. They still
unbelievable.
are to this day. They're still
Yeah,
going hard out there, and just doing the life thing too, which is great. I'm so
yeah.
stoked to see those dudes doing well.
I love that.
Yeah, I
Who
don't
was
get to see
filming on
them
these
as
early
much as I
trips?
want to, but when I do see them, it's like I saw them yesterday, though. 100%, man. Love those
That's the cool
guys.
thing about BMX is that's the type of like relationship you get. It's just like you can go years without seeing each other, but then when you do, you have all those memories that you like can look back on. That's dope. Who's
dude.
filming these early trips that you're on?
Who? Oh, Jim C is filming on these trips,
Nice.
dude. He's like, you know what? I'm just gonna take over the media game, and just like he got all this camera gear, all this shit, and then he just started like being the main dude filming on the trips.
Sick.
I believe there was a dude, I might butcher his last name, like Tom Arkins, who was like more of like a ramp rider, from back in the day, and he went on some trips and filmed some stuff for us. Um, who else? Oh, dude, during grow or during Up and Away, it was Chad Shackelford who
Oh
was filming
shit.
that
Yeah.
video. So
Damn.
that was also the time when like Shook was popping off. So that was
Yeah.
also like really cool to be like behind or in front of the lens of him, you know, because all those videos are like what I was like looking up to and watching like all the time, dude. That was like such a cool
Same.
raw street like an introduction to street or like street now or in that time, you know.
What was it like filming with Chad?
I can't honestly remember anything like special or not at all, dude. I'll be honest with you. I don't remember one thing. I just remember like his footage being really tight and like some people not being too stoked on that. Not to throw any shade or anything. I mean, I could care less. I mean, nowadays people want your shit tight as fuck, but
now it's like trendy.
Yeah, exactly. So it was just a different style, and I feel like a lot of people weren't really too stoked on it. And he had like a vision maybe that like maybe some other people didn't have, and it kind of just like ruffled some feathers. And then yeah, he got let go of the project because I think he just like just taking too long or something. You know,
I'm getting like an image in my head of somebody on rollerblades filming. Did Chad Shackelford
wear dude? Oh my god,
rollerblades?
That was Wade Young, dude. That was the homie Wade Young.
Nice. Okay, Wade Young.
Yeah. So cool. That was even before this era. That was like Alone Days when I was like, dude, that was even like that was young me. That's so funny that you brought that up. Yeah, dude, that was Wade Young. He's a G, dude. He still films with rollerblades too when he does film like BMX and stuff, and he's smooth with it.
That's dope.
So like, that was actually man-made days, dude. There's a man-made edit that he made. That he made for man-made that of myself, and that was like 2000, maybe around like 2004 or 5 or like 5ish era.
Wild. I'm trying to like imagine myself just strapping on rollerblades at the spot, like filming. I can't, because I suck on rollerblades,
dude. Same here. I couldn't. I didn't know how he did it. Like he was able to stop. He was able to fucking like do anything with like as a person would just have like normalized walking. He would just like do it all.
I like if you could get good at blading and go through like bowls and shit like Twistifer does on the skateboard. Like,
oh my god,
that'd be pretty cool.
Maybe it really would.
Throw some elbow guards
because you're free range all above, so you have all of like free motion, dude. You know. Could be a good thing. I don't know. It worked for him. He kills it with it, dude.
Somebody's got to bring back the blades. Bring back the blades.
Bring back the blades.
Okay, so let's keep moving forward in your time, dude. It's so crazy. Remember when you were like, yeah, and that's about it, and then now we're here.
Oh my god, yeah.
There's
sorry.
so much shit.
There's a whole part of my life I missed. All right, so where are we at?
We're on Sunday. You're filming with Jim C for Chad for Up and Away.
Chad for Up and Away. Yep. And then we've gone on some trips. Now we're just filming, or we're filming like trip videos, So those are with like Jim C and some random filmers. They're just got some freelance guys. There's like this dude Francis that filmed a couple of trips.
Does Instagram exist yet?
Instagram does not exist yet.
What was like BMX media like at this point? Sorry to interrupt the story, but
you're fine, dude. It was literally just YouTube and even like not even like YouTube was just starting, dude. There was an era when it was like you had to go into this weird URL to get to this link or this forum, and then you click the link, and then maybe that video loads of that web video. I'm pretty sure Jeff K. Klugowitz was the first person to put a web video out.
Yeah, and just embed it on a website. Or on YouTube. Yeah. I remember watching like you have to go to a website and you watch an embedded video or download it. Like start the download before you go to school, and then when you get home, a 2-minute web video might be downloaded. Like,
dude,
so
100%.
Crazy. Yeah.
And now it's like every second by a flick of a snap. You're like you've already gone through like a whole list of clips and videos.
Did you ever watch shit on Video Google when that was a thing? Do you remember
No.
video.google.com? That's where I could watch Low Tech Mixtape and Animal. I used to think it
Damn, that's
was. I
sick.
used to think Voices was an Animal video because I think somebody uploaded it and titled it Animal Voices on Video Google,
Okay, yeah.
and so I
I
was like,
remember going
"Wow,
on
this
like
this Animal video
Napster,
is sick."
like
Napster for
Napster
BMX
and
videos.
Lime.
Let's go.
Dude, oh my god, I remember Napster and LimeWire.
Yep. I
So,
never got
dude, I
into
was
Napster.
downloading BMX videos off of there, like edits.
That's wild. Uh,
Yeah.
who was the first like influential web video that you saw,
Ooh,
if you can remember any?
God, I can't.
Fuck, dude, we're old.
Yeah, we old, man. I remember like I'm like playing it out on my computer in my downstairs basement, and I'm just like watching the video, but I can't remember what it is. I wish I could, but
For
yeah,
me, it was
that's sorry.
for me it was Josh Betley. Josh Betley's web video with that one happy song, and he's doing all the hang fives and crazy shit that Kyle Carlson made, and it was on Vital BMX.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say Carl made that video. Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah. So that was
definitely. And that's
I,
when like it was kind of like the era where it was like obviously super tight pants and kind of like emo bands or like the softest
yep.
band you could possibly have. Like Mastroni was rocking like that type of era around the playgrounds and stuff to like a nice soft like
So
woman singing.
soft, dude. Mastroni was so soft.
Shout out Mastroni, man. I love him.
I love
His
that
edits were
that
just so
that old,
like
yeah.
just gentle, dude. It was so nice.
And just
Yeah.
steady. Everything was on a tripod, self-filmed, and just like real artsy. I love Mike too, dude. I'd love that old Mike especially because
Yes.
I remember messaging him, I think on MySpace or Facebook, and telling him how I wish I could bar spin or something, and just watching his bar spins, and he was so encouraging, like, you could just do it. And here we are 16 years later, and I've done one, you know.
But yeah, at least you got one under your belt.
We did technically do one, so I don't have to say I could never do it, but yeah, shout out Mike Mastroni.
Hell yeah. And so like one web video that I can remember, the Death Grip video that he put out.
Oh yeah, dude. Damn.
So it's maybe not the first, but the first one that comes to mind talking about Mike, dude, that video.
The Death Grip video. Yep.
Yeah.
Shit.
That was so dope.
And that was kind of the era that was, I mean, where the come up was a thing with the anonymous comments and all the like I remember just checking the comments over and over again, like, holy shit.
Oh my god, yeah.
People were brutal when you had anonymous. Like,
dude, it was so brutal. You had you were stoked when you didn't have like maybe like 50 hate things.
Yeah,
like, I only got 43 people hating on me right now, but there's like 100 people that are stoked. Okay, we're good.
That's real. And
that was brutal times, dude. That was like
seriously
brutal truth. That is like people just shaming me, like, you're fat, like you like I'm just like, what in the fuck is happening? I'm just trying to ride my bike and put out some videos, dude.
What the fuck is
gonna come to my house and kill my family just because I want to do a Smith grind 180?
Your mom's a whore.
Yeah,
that type shit. I was just thinking about that the other day, actually. Like, anonymous is no longer a thing on the internet. Like, your name is tied to everything. Like, but it was such a big deal. I remember when you had to log into Facebook in order to comment on a come up video, and I was like, whoa, this is different. Like, the anonymous shit is gone.
Yeah,
the good old days. Bye. And then social media comes along, and now we're in this whole different world right now. But anyway, that's a snapshot of BMX media back then. I remember Vimeo was like the place for, and I was on BMX forum. What forums were you on? Did you get on?
The BMX forum. Yeah.
Were you?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Definitely. That was like the only one I really knew. That was like the main one. That's the only one I can think of, honestly.
I remember Bike Guide was a thing that I never got into, and like there was some NYC BMX or something that was supposedly cool, but couldn't get a membership or didn't try or some shit. This is all, I don't know if you ever met my friend Cleon, but he was the one who like put me onto forums and all this shit. Like, good old days of the BMX forums where you first shared I first started sharing videos and then getting cool comments. I remember playing games of bike with dudes over the internet and it being so crazy. Yeah, we would film one trick at a time. Yeah. I'm like, all right, it's my set. I'm gonna do a full cab on flat. It's your turn. And this kid from the UK.
Was it just honor system or what?
Yeah, pretty much his honor system. Cool. Thinking back, we were just so young to not even think about the fact that you could just cheat. But yeah, I guess the honor system worked.
Shout out honor system.
Shout out honor system,
dude. So yeah, back to like now
back to Sunday.
Talking come up days, like that's a whole nother era, dude. So like forums are happening, like Adam's starting to come up, and like I just start like we end up like every weekend it's like sessions we meet at the banks, and I'm just meeting all these different people, and I end up kind of just like falling into the crew with like Adam and Muffin Man and Nick Monterio, Spam, and Steve-O, and like all those dudes, Oba. Like there was just a whole crew of like people that would ride together, and then it kind of just like more of the come up started happening and happening. More videos came out, and then we filmed the come up DVD. We went on some trips for that, and even that was like the start of basically kind of like every like this is like the real like passion for being like I'm like all right, like this is like going somewhere, you know, like I'm actually like in with like a group of people. I'm like meeting people every weekend. We're like going to different jams like all around the country now. Like we're traveling. We're like I'm like going on trips with Hoder, like Garrett Reynolds, like all these people that are just like legends. And it was like this is real. Like this is happening. So time just keeps going on. Like more like videos come out, footage comes out. I put out like a Death Grip edit that I worked on filming with a bunch of different people out in that area. And
I think I remember that one. Was it to a metal song?
yeah, it was to Winds of Plague. And that was
yeah, and it
like
was just a
kind of
minute
the
long, and
first.
then you did this. Oh yeah, dude, this brings me back. Go
So
on.
that was
Sorry.
actually
Yeah.
a lot of clips were filmed on my Alone on that before. So that's like pre-Sunday, even right there.
Okay.
Um, the backtrack a little bit. So that like that era was like the beginning of the New York days, like meeting all these people, and then
Progressive
honestly,
shit.
kind
Like,
of
dude, 2006 doing an Ice 180 up a handrail is so fucked. Like, that's so ahead of its time. Thinking about it, just
thanks.
rewatching this. I should be sharing my screen, but it's whatever. Keep talking. I'm watching your shit.
They're chilling though. So yeah, like I just like spent a lot of time out there, and then like you know life happens, like people start moving and like kind of like getting jobs, not riding as much. So then at that point in time, I kind of like fall into like a different crew of people. I'm more towards like I'm not like chilling so much with like Steve-O or Muffin or my friends in Connecticut like Tom Livornia or people like that. It's just kind of an era where like we're all kind of just doing our own thing. We all might have like we just like some shit just happened basically where like you know friendship just like kind of dwindles. Everybody gets into different stuff, girl stuff, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
trip stuff. Just like you learn more about the people, whatever. So then you're like time goes on, whatever, and then at that point, basically, I'm just like riding and doing random trips with certain people. Like, I think that's right around the time when we all moved to Austin, Texas. Like Mastroni, Platt, Garrett Reeves, um, Adam 22, and Whammo, Craig, and Charlie. Well, Charlie came out just to visit, but like that was like kind of the heads that we were like, all right, we're moving to Austin. So we all hopped in a van and we moved to Austin. That was like the crew. That was like the dudes. Like after all that, that was the people that kind of stuck together, and then like we just sent it off. So we all get to Austin and we film football during the time there. That's when football drops. So that ends up going pretty well. It was a super fun project. We definitely caused a little ruckus in Austin. Just like I don't know. I don't know. Just think of the OSS team, just like in that era, just like in a city that like none of us are from. And we're just like, hey, we're here, you know, like going to like all the
What's
spots
up?
and just like, yeah. So it was just like we definitely ruffled some feathers and shit, but like we were all young and dumb, just fucking trying to do it,
Mm-hmm.
you know, just like it was fun as hell, dude. We had a great time and a lot of chaos happened, just like at that house. It was sick. It was just a
What
lot of
sticks out? Give me an example of chaos at the house
I just
during
remember
football.
just like random people like with like not many clothes on, just dancing around, just freaking wild in the living room, just fucking with these huge wizard staffs, like 40 beers deep, just like dancing until we can't even function anymore. And like every orifice of like the building was just like something was happening weird or funky, you know. It was just
Party
like prime
house.
party day. It was
Yeah.
just prime party days, dude. You know, we were just getting a little loose as fuck.
Hell
It was
yeah.
like right after like high school. Like it was like our first time away from like a lot of us our first time away from home. Like
It's the time
we
to
were
do
ready.
it.
Yeah, we were living that life, dude. It
I
was
love
sick
that.
as hell. And you know, I don't live that life anymore, but I'm glad I got to
Man.
experience it in those times with those people because it was fun. It
Yeah,
was
it does,
really fun.
dude. That shit doesn't last. If we were our age still living that life, man, I'd be like something's up.
Yeah,
Cut this shit
I ain't
out.
doing something right. This is bad.
What about on the bike? What sticks out from like being there
Um,
for different? Like
being
you were
there, dude,
there
just
for Garrett
watching
Reeves.
like exactly getting to watch Garrett Reeves in person, in the flesh, riding
Yeah,
like at his full potential, like peaking, like would go up to the craziest thing. You're like, dude, don't do it. I don't
yeah,
think it's gonna work. You might die. He's like, fuck it, gets on his bike and lands it. Like his body just does like some weird like. And
yes,
you're like, how did that just work, dude?
yep.
Like that doesn't make sense.
He's
And that would be
incredible.
like daily, dude. Like daily is like that was the highlight. Getting to watch Garrett Reeves destroy it for that video was
What
a
clip sticks
treat,
out?
dude.
What clip do you remember of
The
his?
gap tire ride on the up ledge that Aaron Ross did a feeble whip to gap wall.
Yes.
Like
Oh my
just a
god,
tire
dude.
ride to
Yeah,
gap wall, but the setup is like not supposed. You're not supposed to do that shit.
yeah. His body contorts so much, just so much speed, and then like suck up the ledge, and
He like
then
he goes up and then it sucks it back down and then into the ledge. I'm like, how? Like what, bro? Oh my
That's real.
god. So yeah, like getting to watch that, dude. Just other experiences.
And then was that like your first time working with Mastroni behind
Yeah,
the lens?
yeah, I think so. Yeah, that was like the first time really working with Mastroni on a project. Yeah, that was like
That's
one of
dope.
our first
That was
projects.
the beginning of a very long, fruitful relationship
That's right. I
between the
love
two of
Mike.
you. Yeah, that's great.
That's my buddy.
That's my buddy.
100%. That's my buddy. We're actually trying to
We love
plan
Mike.
another trip right now. We've been going on all these like little just homie trips, like me, John Tinsley, and himself. Like the three of us just kind of go to pick a city, and we'll go there
Sick.
for a week and film, and whatever we film, we'll go to whatever, you know.
I
So,
hear he's got a new part coming out later
oh
this year.
yeah, yes, he
Oh
does.
yeah.
It could already be out. It's enough footage and epic enough, but you know Mike, so
Yeah.
he's gonna be putting a little more time in. But it's a treat, dude. He's still my man's not on the internet every day, but my man is still
He's
putting
doing
out
it. Yeah.
masterpieces, dude. It's just like he puts out such good art, man. I love his
He
writing.
really does.
It's and his film, everything, editing, filming, writing is just
Yep.
he's a wizard.
He is a wizard. What a great guy. What a great
Yeah, I can't
talented
stress that
bastard.
enough.
Um
Fucking right.
and
Okay, so
and
then
he's soft.
OSS era. Okay, so as time goes on, that people piss each other off, things go happen. Everybody kind of splits up from that era over
Wait,
time. I guess like
let's
some
linger
people
on the
moved to
piss off
California.
part. I want to linger on the
What?
piss off part. What happened to you that you remember? Who got pissed off at OSS? Who like what you just
Well, we
brushed
all, like
over?
part of us moved to like some of us moved to California. This is like kind of like when I moved to California in that time, and like I remember one thing that I pissed off the guys was like I'm pretty sure I was filming and I had some footage with them, but I also had a new bike coming out with Sunday, like a signature colorway, and I was like, fuck, I need footage, guys. I don't have any like footage. I'm hurt right now, and I really got to promote my bike. Like, can I use the footage that we've been filming? Because I didn't have much, and I was like, it was like I'd rather just not have this in it in the video and just use this as, like with all my other Sunday footage to like
Yeah.
rep my frames and then be in the video. But then like it's kind of selfish, and I wasn't really thinking at the time like how stupid that was. Like I ruffled feathers with like Mike really bad. There was a time when like we weren't really talking, and like I pissed Adam off, and like he's like, all right, dude, like you're all fucking OSS, you know. So like at that point it was just like, yo, like I wasn't part of OSS anymore, and we were all just kind of like whatever with each other. It wasn't like I fucking hate you and beat your ass or anything. It was like, you know, whatever, dude, you're doing your thing. We're gonna keep doing ours. Like, just you know, we'd
Got
rather
it.
not deal with you at that time because I was just like I was being kind of like a baby about it, and I was just like wasn't going about like the situation correctly or like thinking about it thoroughly
I
at the
missed all
time. So
this. I don't remember this. So good
it
job
wasn't
keeping it
really
hush
like
hush. Yeah.
anything that was like put out there or anything
Yeah.
crazy. It was just like kind of like a mellow falling out with everybody, you know.
Yeah.
And then time goes on. I'm like going on Sunday trips and all that, and then something happens where like everybody fucking just like becomes homies again. We're like, you know, like we're like, yo, like, you know, I'm sorry for this, or like,
Squash it.
dude, like it's been a long time. Like how are you doing? Like, then things are like forgotten or just like put to the side, dude, you know, and like that's real friendship. And that's why like still to this day, dude, I rep OSS, like I'll rep OSS to the end because Adam and all those dudes are like they really are true friends, even through everything they've been through and everything I've been through. They have my back, or Adam and like those dudes have my back like 100%. And like
Hell yeah.
I really appreciate that and love that about them. I don't know. He just like no matter what, he won't forget his roots, and he's just like, I can respect him for that, you know, along with everybody else that is under that roof, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, the way he's handling whatever's going on right now with the Lena shit on Twitter is fucking wild.
Yeah, but you know, he's
it.
like a genius, and he's like he's like low key is planning all this shit, dude. You know, like he low key like
it's really
he has a grip
really
on
good
all
attention. Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's fucking
he's
wild,
he's wild, and that's the whole other lifestyle that I don't know anything about. But dude, fucking, he's doing it just like with everything he's done.
It's calculated.
He's done it like to the fullest, and he's been successful with it. You know, BMX, hip hop, porn, whatever it's gonna be next. You know, like he's gonna put in 100 or fatherhood. You know, dude. Like,
right? Yeah.
110% no matter what he does. And
that's what I was kind of like blown away when I came
admire
out
him for that.
And he let me do the internship for him. I keep calling it like so I don't know. I must have told you when I was out there, but I was talking to my dad and I was getting out of college and he was like, Robert, you better get yourself an internship with one of these bicycle companies. And so I emailed like
your father was like, well, she do that.
So I emailed a bunch of different companies and nobody was like down. And I emailed Adam and he's like, come intern for me. Cause I asked him just like, do you know any BMX companies that I could intern for? And he was like, come intern for me, KANODE. And came and he taught me WordPress and all this shit. But I was like most impressed by how smart he was. I thought, you know, it was just like some fucking guy who knows how to run a website, but like he, you know, he's a smart cookie. Adam 22.
Definitely, man.
So it's interesting to see your perspective from like having the history with the OSS and all that.
Yeah, dude. Like we've gone to jail together. Like we've done crazy shit's happened. Like there was one time in New York City, bro, and we were at some wild party and like I saw like a chick throwing some bottles out a window and I was like, yo, this looks fun as hell. So I took some bottles and I started throwing some bottles out the fucking window, dude.
Oops.
And it ended up happening where like more people were throwing bottles out the window at that point. And I'm pretty sure a taxi got hit. And then at that point, cops are like fucking blind or like sending like lights up to count the like windows to see where we're at. And then we just like a little while later, we just hear, and all of a sudden, bro, the party's busted and we're all in jail, bro. And like, dude, that definitely was another part of like some people hating me for a while, dude. Because I was just like, I was a dumbass kid just doing some stupid shit, and that's what happened, bro. We got put in jail for like a day or like 2 days. It was like me, Adam, Rory, Chase D, Ben Hiddle, and a bunch of other random heads, bro. It was during Mega Tour, bro.
Wow, fucking A.
Yeah. So that was a wild situation.
That is wild. Holy shit.
So yeah, I don't know. There's just a bunch of during that era. There's just some chaos that happened, but yeah, dude.
It's like it feels like yesterday, and it also feels like 25 years ago that all that shit was happening. So, like
anyway. It for real though.
So
for real.
The OSS beef gets squashed over time, and then you're living in
Cali.
And then,
and during that time too, I'm like kind of finding myself again. Like I'm not doing good with Sunday. Like I'm not doing enough. Like they're already like. They're getting the phone call like, hey, we got to cut you down to this, dude. I'm like, fuck, dude, it's winter time. You know, I'm like, God damn, I don't know what the fuck to do. Like, this sucks. And I'm like, bringing up this shit. I'm like, why is he getting more than me? This and that. You know, like, just being like a dumbass kid, bro. I'm just like thinking I deserve more than I do. And I'm just like, yo, I've been on the team longer. Like, why is he getting more than me or whatever? Why am I getting cut? This and that. And I just got put in a check real quick, dude. You know, like, I just stepped back and like, took
inventory
took accountability for my actions and realized that I was in the wrong. I was fucking up. I was thinking I deserved a lot more than I was doing or putting out there, and like I just didn't have the proper like drive or like the proper way of like promoting myself and the brand. Thinking of it like that, I was just like thinking like, oh, I'm a pro BMX rider. I'm getting money, or I'm, you know, I deserve this or that. It wasn't like, oh, I need to actually like do this and that to get this and that, or you know, like
you're entitled.
Yeah,
like I'm a pro. Exactly. Just pay me. I'm, you know,
I was entitled. And I was thinking it through and like thinking of how I could benefit the company or like help them out more than, you know, because that's. We're pro riders for the company, you know, like I gotta make sure I'm doing my job. So I stepped back, I made some apologies, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna flip the switch, you know, because at this point I was kind of just like chilling, dude. I was gaining a lot of weight. I was just like I was not in a good place. So I was like, all right, you know what? Fuck it. I'm moving to Austin. So I hit up El Strand and a couple other people. We ended up, and my buddy Frank, and we ended up moving to Austin, Texas. And we lived right next to Mabel Davis Skate Park, which was sick. So I get out there and like at this point I'm riding every single day, dude. I'm like rapping as hard as I can. I'm like in like a good way, you know, not over the top, like needy. Like
Yeah.
I'm just repping super hard. I'm making sure I'm doing everything I need to do. And like my main focus is like, yo, let's do this. Like I want to be a pro rider. Like I
Yeah.
really want to be a pro rider. So I just worked super fucking hard. And at this point, this is when Jim left and Walter Perringer was now the new TM. So this was a phone call I get kind of after all, like after I'm like already hyped up, like I'm starting to like put more shit on Instagram. This is kind of like when Instagram is like really going, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like just like every day clip, like I'm just trying to really put it out there that I'm like stoked on riding and I'm in it for like, you know, the not in it for the brand, but I just like I'm enjoying being a pro rider. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying riding my bike. And
Which
so
is
I get
so
out to
simple,
Austin.
but that's it. You know, like it's easy
That's
to lose
all it is.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
I'm happy
dude.
you figured that shit out.
I am too, and I'm still to this day. So I'm so fucking thankful for it. So I get to Austin, and it's like me, El Strand, I end up like really like I've known Charlie, I've hung out with him before, but I never really got to like be like friends with Charlie. So like Charlie Columbus is out there, and he's like one of the made like filmer dudes, whatever. That aside, like ends up being one of my like best friends, dude. We end up hanging out all the fucking time and just like really like clashing or not clashing with each other, but just like you know, just
The opposite of clashing.
bonding.
Meshing.
What? Yeah,
The
opposite of
opposite of
clashing, just
clashing.
bonding super,
Yeah.
yeah, bonding super well together, and just feeding off each other's ideas and just coming up with all this fun shit to do. And we end up making like that edit with myself and Elstrand that Charlie made with like all the Super Smash Bros like graphics and shit in it.
Damn, I
And
gotta
that's for
rewatch that.
Sunday
I
nights.
thought I watched all your videos. I did not watch all your videos. That would take days. Go on
No
though.
worries, dog. Um, but yeah, so that was like a video that me and Elstrand put out, and like that ended up doing really well. And I was like pushing myself a little more, and Walter was like such like he's like just a really good videographer and photographer. So like all the results that I was seeing was like, wow, this looks so professional and like cool, you know, like I've never seen stuff like this clear before, like well
He
done.
was
So
he
like
was
I just
like
juiced,
early on the HD game.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So that like that juiced me up even more to like just like put myself like maybe down some more scarier stuff or like something that was like, oh, I don't know. But now I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, dude, that's gonna look so fucking cool. Like I guess I'll like man up and do this, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, so there was that whole era basically during grow up, right? Like a little before grow up, and well, this is actually damn yeah. This so Walter was on for like almost 5 years or so. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm just like out there filming with Walter a bunch. He's seeing good like good momentum. I'm just really motivated to ride and all this stuff. And time goes by, another year goes by, and then I just doing more and doing more, and I'm just like kind of out there, and I'm just like you know, just riding and just being more of a professional rider. And yeah, I got raises and I got like a lot of respect, and then that's when like parts started end up coming my way. I started going into the office more and pitching some ideas, and they were fucking with my ideas, and that was super cool, and that just motivated me even more to do more stuff. And yeah, that kind of just like it ended up turning into like having my own frame, bars, tires, seat, pegs, grips, like a ton of stuff, dude. So they just like they really like respected what I like my input on stuff and trusted in me and my riding, and that's like that means so much after almost getting kicked off, you know.
Yeah.
And now I'm still like 15 years later, I'm still with Sunday. So like it really shows you that like if something goes sour, that you can change it and you can make things right again, and like you can almost get a second chance, you know, if you go about it right.
Yeah.
So
Facts.
I'm super thankful that I didn't get bitter and be like fuck them, you know, like they cut my pay, like this like I'm out of here, you know. It was like okay, why did they cut my pay? What was I doing wrong? And how can I fix this?
Hell yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's like after I learned all that, and like there's times when like, you know, like you get frustrated even like nowadays, and you can get like a sour taste in your mouth. But like at the end of the day, dude, like you're just riding a BMX bike, and do you want to rep this brand? Do you believe in the brand? And if you do, then you'll do whatever you got to do to fucking,
Yes,
rep
sir.
them and help them grow along with you.
Yeah.
So,
Fucking A.
yeah,
15
yeah,
years,
dude.
dude.
Yeah. Yep. So, yeah. And then that was grow up. And then Walter ended up leaving. And
Grow Up was so good, dude. The
Grow Up
whole
was
the whole theme
so
of it, like,
good, man. I love that video. It was more not even the video, it was just that the trips and the experiences. I've never traveled more in my entire life than I have for that video, dude.
sick.
And for me, that is one of my favorite video parts I've ever filmed, and one of the the most proud of work. Or sorry, I'm mostly proud of that one.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That was like one of my favorite video parts I ever put out, and yeah, that
It's so
was
cool
I don't
to
know, it
just
was
see
sweet.
the young footage of everybody, like
Oh
unreal.
my god, yeah. Especially Mark. Mark looks so young in that whole
Yeah,
video,
dude.
dude.
And it's like because he's probably the youngest in it, but I
Yeah.
remember that Mark doing those tutorials a little bit, and then you
Yeah,
see
dude,
that
the
in
out
that
of
part. Yeah,
market, yup.
yeah, wild.
Me and
So
my
what
buddy
was
were just
like?
talking about that the other day, like how long ago that tutorial was. And he looks like he's so small in that thing,
Yeah,
dude.
tiny little Mark. Did you see
Tiny
him at
little one.
the Albany Jam? How's he doing?
I did, dude. And it was awesome. I haven't got to see him in a long time. Like almost like I keep saying it's almost been like 3 years, but I don't know. My timeline's just all over the place, but it's been ages. But he's doing well, man. He's like running a couple bars out there, like really running the show, and he's still riding, and he seems to be doing really well. He looked really
Yeah,
healthy. He seemed in really good spirits, dude. I'm stoked. It was so good to see him, honestly.
hell yeah.
So
He's gonna
yeah,
be a
Mark's
boss at
he's
whatever he
he's doing
does,
well,
dude.
man. It was cool.
He's got that attitude of, and that I don't know if it's attitude, but just he's gonna be fucking great at whatever he sets his mind to. Like,
Yeah, he's just a talented kid, dude.
yeah,
Honestly, like no matter what, he doesn't like failure. I'll tell you that.
yeah, right.
He just yeah, he wants to go 110%. It seems like anything he does. So
So in Grow Up, the intros, everybody's intro has just slow motion shots of you guys all pedaling around. Did you guys film that at a jam, or is this like?
no, so we put out a notice. We're like, hey, we're gonna go film this at this spot in San Francisco. Show up, and that was the turnout that we had to film our
Sick,
intro.
dude.
We're like because we wanted to like kind of be getting chased by like other riders, and like
Yeah.
we had to run away from that. So we all busted out of the van or got in the van and like zipped out and shit. So we
Yep.
were trying to escape the fans. I don't know. It was just a fun, quirky idea, like
It's a
or like
good
we're trying
vibe.
to escape our like youth, grow up, or I don't know, dude.
I
It's just
like
like you
that.
get
We got
deep
metaphors,
in
baby.
it.
We got metaphors. So what does it mean to grow up? What does grow up mean to you, Jake Seeley? I actually kind of
Dude,
mean
that's
that question.
tough because
Yeah.
all right, to me, growing up is not living a life fueled by your passion anymore.
Yeah.
I think that's grown up, and not having a life fueled by your passion is growing up.
You're never gonna grow up.
Obviously, another way to like say growing up, like having kids, having a family, having a house, having this and that, but like I plan to hopefully one day have all that, but still not be grown up. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like I
Hell yeah.
want to forever live a life fueled by my passion or a passion.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, anything you do. I don't know. Yeah, once you stop doing like that, I think then you're dying.
Yep.
Possibly, like then you're done. You're growing up. You're growing up.
Yeah. And then you're just
Like
shrinking and getting old.
yeah, it's basically just like the tip of the iceberg. You're basically going down.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, that's just like that's a darker way to think of it.
No,
Obviously,
it's a
like
good answer.
getting your or getting your shit together. Making sure all your bills are paid on time, making sure you have savings, making sure you're out of your debts, making sure
Responsibilities.
responsibilities. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's another great way of being a grown up. Like
I
I
like
don't
that
know.
version. I like that assuming responsibility because I skirted responsibilities for so long, dude, and then
That yeah,
once I
that now
finally did
yeah,
it, it kind of felt good. Like paying rent,
yep,
paying bills on time, and
dude,
taking care of
yeah.
a dog. It's nothing, but it's
So
something.
also, yeah, growing up can feel good. Like all of those things
Yeah.
you named, like literally give you a good feeling, like
Yep.
accomplishing them. Like, and maybe that appreciation is what growing up is.
Yeah. There it
Having the
is.
appreciation for those feelings. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck, are we grown-ups, dude? Shit.
Yeah, we might be grown-ups. Damn it.
God damn it. So let's
Damn
talk about
it.
your grow up part. What's something that sticks out? What's your favorite clip from it? Is it the enda?
I love the under just because that was like a trick that I like thought of and I've always wanted to do
Yeah.
in real on a real
The
spot.
stoke is real too.
Yeah, that was like
Has
honestly
anybody
in
done it?
that
So
time.
for
I was
those
like,
listening, it's a X up crooked grind easy 180.
yo, I really have a dream. Like I've done on like a Sabrosa rail and stuff, but like the 180 X up fakey crook to Indian.
Hold on, say
The
that again.
motion 180 X up fakey crook to Indian out
Yes.
or whatever you want
What'd
to
you
call
just
it.
say about that?
That is I want to do that. That's like my next like kind of like my
Dream
what
trick?
would you call it? Your
Great.
sleep killer.
Your
But you're
great white whale? Your great white
yeah,
buffalo?
great
Or the white
white.
whale?
There's that. Yeah, exactly. So there's that trick, and then there's the lucky 540. Those
Mm-hmm.
are the two tricks that like if I have a video part next, like those are the ones that are gonna keep me up at night, like thinking about like doing.
Fire.
Um,
If you
but
have a video part, you're gonna have a video part again. No?
yeah, I would love to.
Yeah.
I'd love to film fucking that video part, dude. It's like a piece of art for me. I hopefully can just keep filming video parts. I love doing them.
Um,
The any nose the fakey nose manual that I do in there is like I do like a manual 180 and then like a fakey nose across like a
yeah, it's the
loading dock
first
ramp.
riding clip, right? Yeah.
That's probably one of my favorite clips in there because at that point in time, like I was like super hyped on nose manuals and doing noses all the time, which now I can't fucking do a nose manual to save my life. So
They go away if you don't
it,
keep feeding them.
oh, dude, 100%. So like that trick and then the manual whip I do in there, those are like two tricks that I'm like they're standouts for me because I never do either one of those, and they're like the most challenging tricks for me ever.
Yeah.
That's why you never see me whip. I fucking suck at tail whips. I just like maybe one you'll catch one in a video part. You know, I always try to have one in there, but
yeah,
it's tough, dude. So like those tricks and then all the bar spin stuff. That whole video part is when I was feeling the best I've ever felt my bike. Like straight up honesty, like that I've never felt so good on my bike than when I did when I was filming Grow Up.
Dope.
So, and then I got towards the end of it in San Francisco, I tore my articular cartilage all on the inside of my knee. And that's what it killed my fucking rev that I was like just like feeling it, you know, when you know, and you're like not peaking, but you're just feeling it. Like you feel so good on your bike, you're super confident, and like you're like down to do whatever.
Yep.
And you feel confident that you can do anything. That got ended so quick at the end of Grow Up, and then that kind of just like dumbed me down a lot, and then I had to like go back up and reevaluate my style and riding, and then you know.
It's wild, dude. You've been through so many eras, man. It's so
nuts. Dude, yeah, it's wild.
Like just rewatching the Def Grip video though, like if you guys haven't seen, you should. I mean, well, I'll put the link in the description. The Def Grip one is so fucking legendary. Maybe it's because I was young and it like left an impression, like it's still in my brain. But man, that shit was so ahead of its time. It's so dope. Even just like you did a fake.
I appreciate that.
In that little bowl thing at night, you did a just 180 in and fakey bar spin out, and it was just epic to me. Like everything in that video.
That was in a dog park too, which made it even cooler. Shout out all the dogs out there.
Hell yeah! Shout out Trip. What's up, dog?
I didn't even know Trip was there. So
yeah,
quiet and chilling.
Trip's hanging out. Yeah,
you're a good dog. Oh,
you're putting him to sleep, dude. He doesn't give a shit about BMX. He's actually like anti-bikes.
Damn. All right.
He's shook every time I get my bike out to take him on a ride at night. Like. He skirts through the door. He also like the way he lost his leg was he was a month old and somebody slammed a door on him. So he has like door trauma. And so every time I open a door, he like looks at me and then shoo, like almost like a cartoon character, like runs his feet on the ground and then gets through. Like he's shook about doors and he's shook about bikes.
Poor guy.
I took him out there for BMX day though, and that was kind of a mistake to bring a dog to BMX day because you're pedaling like 2 miles in between spots. But the first couple spots we went and me and Trip hill bombed and we had to go slower than everybody else. So like the entire jam rode past me and Trip as we're just going down a long mellow hill, and he's cooking as fast as he can. He was having the time of his life. It was sick.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. Did anybody catch a video of that? That'd be a really cool video.
I think there's some pictures and video. People were filming on their phone as they were passing by.
Fuck yeah. Good. As they should.
Did you watch the X Games Real Street or Real BMX? the best trick
The one at the spot.
at Rincon, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Brett threw down, dude. That was so.
Yes, dude.
We talked the night before. I'm just like, dude, just do you, man. Just like, go into it, you're gonna crush it, and like,
You
sure
could
enough,
tell
next
he was
day, bro, he
juiced.
fucking crushed it, dude. I love it.
Yeah.
That's my boy. That's my fucking boy, dude. I was so proud of him, and like, it's so sick that he's getting like the recognition that he like deserves, dude, because he's such a down and just genuine human being, man.
Yeah, man. No, no big ego,
He's
just
the best.
fucking awesome human being. I think it was the first time we've ever met, but I feel like when I met him, I was like, I've known you forever. You're Brett, like it's so.
Dude, yeah,
such a
like
homie
a big
right
smiley,
away.
this big old,
Yeah,
like cuddly teddy bear, dude. He's the
yeah.
fucking man. He's the best.
I think I was talking to Maloof, and he told me that Brett was talking about doing a double seat grab down Rincon, and I was like, oh. So I didn't know about all the other shit he tried or did, like the three
Yeah,
tapes.
I had no clue. I didn't even know it was at Recon. When did they find out?
I don't know. I think the riders knew like weeks in advance, but it was super hush hush. Like don't say anything about where it is type shit.
Yeah, yeah.
So
he didn't leak any of the info to me, so I had no clue.
That's good, man, Brett. It was so hard to keep it secret because Stu told me when we recorded the podcast, and he was like, "You can't tell a soul," and I was like,
I know, it's so hard, right?
It was, yeah. But the three tapes came out of nowhere, dude, and everybody lost their shit. Like I think everybody was the most hyped on that clip. Like, and it was
and to do it that perfect, like that well executed.
Only Brett could do it that good,
Yeah,
so good. Like Bunny, and the rail is no joke. I went up to the top and I was like, holy shit, this spot is the real
whereabouts
deal.
is it? Is it
like over a knee? It's over knee height, so it's like about top tube type shit, and it's just like, whoa. And so Colin's fakie hop is unbelievable.
I was just gonna,
unbelievable. Like he didn't run up at all. Like usually if I'm gonna fakie hop something, I'll do a 180 and kind of like stop and look, but he didn't do that shit at all. When it was game time, and you could tell like he went and like, so like they all took turns up at the top. It was such a cool. So I'll tell you about it. So like first of all, Stu made it such a like big deal. Like, okay, here's the directions, here's the email. Like athletes park here, park over here, and you show up with Matt. I was like, okay, and I was like real nervous. And then it was kind of low key. There was just like one security guard that was just like, "You an athlete?" And I was like, "Yep." Good morning. And then go in, and I'm expecting it to be not that many people, but it's just like a BMX fever dream. Like Scotty Kramer, Rooftop, Dakota, Dennis, Garrett, fucking everybody that was, not to mention everybody that was riding in it, and then all the homies that were there to like support, like we're all just like kind of hanging out right there, and it's unreal. And it was super low key. I brought Trip, another thing where I was like, this could be a bad idea, but it was super chill, and he hung out with everybody.
Awesome.
And then so like the way it worked was each rider got their turn. It was like, okay, Garrett's up, he's gonna go do his shit. And watching Garrett ride, just watching them warm up on flat ground, like watching Garrett ride flat ground, everybody was just like, wow, because you see it on Instagram, but it's just like unbelievable to watch in person.
It's so consistent too.
Yeah, he's a juggernaut. Madness. So when it comes time for Colin, and like the promo videos that they were playing for this thing, like his fakie hop over that barrier from his real BMX part, like that's we're all thinking the same shit. Like Colin's gonna fakie hop this, and apparently I didn't know this, but Garrett was saying like they've made multiple trips to that spot for that clip specifically, and it never happened. Like Colin wanted this fakie hop, and so like the fact that real BMX was happening, like they multiple missions they went there to film that, according to Garrett.
Had to do it.
Yeah. So when it came time for Colin's turn, everybody knows.
That
everybody
makes that knows. So much more special.
I was like, this is a $20,000 fakie hop right now. This is crazy. And so like the first time he goes up, he just pegs the rail, and then like, or does something on the rail, I forget. And I was like, okay. And then the next time it's Colin's turn, like everybody knows, and they start making noise. And this is like early in the contest, and then it's quiet, and he just looks at it, and no run ups, nothing, just perfectly executed. And then it was like so surreal. Like while he's mid fakie hop, I'm like, holy shit, he's fucking doing it. And then he landed it, and that's that. And that was it was early in the contest too, and I was like, that wins, 100%.
Fuck yeah. So well deserved. The judging on that was really good.
Yeah, which is so nuts to think that Was it Garrett got bronze with the 540
Bronze.
bar
Yeah.
spin down the?
Yeah, it's crazy to think that a 540 bar spin at a massive block
Yeah,
like
dude,
that can
like,
get bronze.
wild,
But that
man.
just shows you how crazy the fucking competition is nowadays,
Mm-hmm.
dude. It's fucking wild. The
Yeah, man.
progression of BMX is insane.
Yeah,
It's at an all-time high. It's
it really
absolutely
is.
bananas.
So yeah, that was unbelievable. I forget exactly why I started telling that story, but being there was surreal. Shout out to
Thank you
Stu
for
for
sharing that story. No,
yeah,
it's dope.
unbelievable. And yeah, then I spent the rest of my week in California at Case Taylor's house making a park video with him that I'll be putting out sometime soon. But he's Matt Ray's buddy. Anyway,
Not
enough about me. Back to Jake Seeley's story.
You're fine. I don't know where we're at in the timeline. I'm trying to think.
So we just finished talking about Grow Up.
Okay, yeah. So grow up happens, and
That's
then
2018, 2019.
yeah, about
Damn,
that.
I'm at
Yeah,
my lowest point in life when Grow Up comes out.
yeah.
What are you
It was a
doing?
hard area. Okay. Oh yeah. So then then COVID starts, and like after grow up, it was kind of. I don't think there was any other like real big projects or anything after that. It was just kind of like little web video or else a team trip or random stuff. I think the first thing I did after that was it was right before fucking COVID happened, dude. I remember it was like I was on a Madeira trip because we were filming for the Madeira video, and that trip is when COVID started. Was the first, and then I remember getting super sick in between the Madeira trip and the Sunday trip. So after Madeira, California, I went to Sunday, Arizona for another week and a half. And that was the first trip that I went on with Zach Kresmas as the filmer and quote unquote TM at that time.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't actually have the TM job at that time. He was just the filmer. So we filmed that Arizona, or sorry, that Vegas trip. That's what it was. Sorry, Vegas. That Vegas trip with Zach. Did I say Arizona or did I say Vegas? I can't remember.
You fixed it. You said Arizona first, then Vegas.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah. So sorry, that was the Las Vegas trip that we went on with Zach Kresmas. And he put that video out, and then that was like the last thing for like a year or two until COVID was basically we were allowed to go on trips again. And then I
What
think
about where does Headlights fit in? Was that before or after Grow Up?
that was after Grow Up and before Madeira video.
Just squeeze in an epic Headlights section. No big deal.
Yeah, I was super stoked on that. That was Ride BMX's like that was when they were like kind of falling out or all that shit was happening with whatever happened with that.
Right.
So that was a wild situation also to fall into because we just spent all this time and money filming this video that now is not going to go out on a Ride BMX platform. It's just whatever. It's just like whatever now.
We're out of business.
Yeah, so now like we put in all this work and all this shit for like pretty much like not nothing obviously, but like not as much of like a stoke as we hoped for at the end of the day filming this video.
But
so then
the real heads dude. Headlights is sick.
Yeah, Headlights is a great fucking video. I love it. Everyone killed it super hard. And it was a beautifully done video by Mike Mastroni with a very tasteful group of riders. It was fucking awesome. So yeah, Headlights happened. And then Madeira ABD video comes out. We go to like premieres and stuff like that. That is why I went to California for the Sacramento trip for Madeira to continue filming. Okay. So then at that time, Madeira ends during like all the COVID stuff. A situation happened, and then I left the team. And at that point, and at that point, I am in Austin, Texas, and I'm just like, it's just us. It's just the riders. We don't have like, we can't go anywhere. Like their companies aren't paying for any trips because like they don't want to like put us in jeopardy. So like we're stuck. Like I'm in Austin, Texas, and I'm there during all the COVID stuff. So I'm like, fuck, what do I do? So I ended up getting a camera and ended up filming gangster street biking with all my friends in Austin. And then when I came back home during that time period of like COVID and stuff, I was filming with my friends back home. And at that time, Ben Allen was not like we weren't working at that time. We were just like, what do we do? So Ben Allen ended up driving, coming cross country with me. and he ended up staying in Pittsfield for like a month or two,
Nice.
filming for that video. So that's kind of how Gangster Street Biking came about. And if people don't know, Gangster Street Biking was a full length kind of like web video that I put out of all of my friends from Western Mass to basically Austin, Texas, and in between.
So dope. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a super fun project, and I've never made like a full length video like that before. So yeah, I really can't wait to make another one. Honestly, I just don't have the equipment yet that I want to get stoked to make another project like that. So
what do you want to get?
I don't know. I don't know too much about cameras, dude, honestly. And like, I was using a T3i when I filmed that.
That'll get the job done. That's what I use with
Dude, yeah, it's a great introductory DSLR camera. It fucking had with the right lens and stuff. Like it looked fantastic. But I would like to just like have like a really good HD setup, a 4K almost. You know, something that like I pull out and like the kids are like the new group of kids that are coming up in my town. You know, or like people around my area that are, you know, just learning new things. And I'm like, this kid's going to be so fucking sick. I want to film a part with him. You know, they'll be able to trust me if I actually have something sick rather than, hey, dude, you should do this with this iPhone. You know, like it's just a different feel, you know.
You know, they're going to ask you to turn that camera sideways like this though.
Exactly. Or can I put the clip up? No, dude, do you want a part or not? Like, what the fuck? It's always been a struggle, dude.
What do you think about being a rider now and trying to, like, what do you think about video parts versus doing it for the gram or, you know, just filming content for the internet?
It's just a different era. I wish like kids really knew how like insanely hard and distant like becoming like not like just like getting your stuff out there and having people see it.
Yeah.
Like back in the day for us, how hard it really was to like have someone see your shit or you're riding, you know, or like something that you were doing.
Yeah.
Usually it was just like your local that like the people that knew you, you know, or you rode with. It was never like I couldn't see somebody in like Bangkok or like wherever like shredding as hard as possible from like even if they just started yesterday and posted a clip, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody could just like post one thing up that goes like completely viral and then they're known nowadays, or they're like, you know, maybe it's not for a long time, but like they got their name out there.
Like that one kid who knows mails upstairs.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
exactly.
Just keep doing that, man.
It's crazy how like more accessible like getting your footage out there is, and like it's crazy. But I ain't hating on it. I love how things are nowadays, and I loved how things were back in the day too. Because like, dude, sometimes when I was first getting like really into that shit, like we waited a year, and then Christmas time would come around, and every VHS or DVD would drop, and then you would get that for Christmas. You'd make a list for Christmas, and then hopefully get all those videos, you know. And then you'd wait another year or two, and like the pros were like the people in those videos, like that was the pros you knew. Were the dudes in the videos. Like there was no pros in my small ass town, dude, you know, but I knew about like Van Homan and like all the people in like Seek and Destroy or like the Criminal Mischief movies, you know, those are the pros to me.
Right.
Where
Which
nowadays,
is such a smaller world compared to now, where it's just like,
dude, yeah, exactly. Like you think about like there was a few pros compared to now where there's so many people at a pro level where like maybe almost like that, like the pro quality is almost like dumbed down a little bit now because, or just like a different type of, how am I trying to say this? It's like maybe back then being a pro rider, because they weren't so out there in the public, maybe just being a good bike rider was enough to be a pro rider, where nowadays, like there's so many kids pumping out amazing, good content all the time at a pro level. You're like, almost like, okay, now we need to like figure out, is this kid like a good dude? Is he going to be like a dude that's like, well, that can represent a brand? Like, I feel like it's like, there's a lot of it, but still you got to weed out those people. And that's where like a lot of these people are like, well, I'm so fucking good. Like, how is this kid getting sponsored and I'm not? Like, this is bullshit. Like, type of deal. Like, you got to like understand that there's a lot more.
And you're like, that right there is why you're not, you know, like that attitude.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like, if you don't learn that, you're never gonna like make it far in this. If you do want to be a professional like athlete or whatever, or, like represent a brand, you know. If not, just do your own thing, you know. And then the people that actually do fuck with you, like they'll follow you, you know. Like just
you can kind of
maybe you're not the right for that brand.
Media company in a sense. There's people that make a living without being. I guess most of the big ones. I was thinking like YouTubers like Billy and Anthony and.
There is still some that like aren't getting checks from companies, but you know, they're making money of their own, but these brands are representing them. There's just different types of like positions now, I think, within the
Right.
BMX like industry and community.
Yeah.
You
Why,
know, like
why did I just take you on that tangent? Oh, gangster biking.
yeah.
Gangster street biking. So how about after that?
So
You've made a full
after
length
gangster
now.
street biking was that was kind of like the one of the last-ish projects I did before the ledge edit, I think.
Nice. And now it's like feels complete. And now we're here and we're sitting here.
Yeah, and now we're here. We're to the next, like, what's the next project? What's
Yeah.
next?
What's in your future, Jake Seeley? But first of all, be here now. Okay. This moment,
Yeah,
I'm talking to you through a computer screen.
that's right.
Fantastic. It's so good to see you, man.
I feel like I didn't answer your last question as well as you wanted me to. I feel like I
No,
could like just
fuck
how
that.
I think it's different. Like I just think basically nowadays it's just I mean, it's just faster now. Things are progressing way more. You got to be a little more creative. You got to be a little more ahead of the game. You got to. It's just different, you know. But like for me, with the sorry, like video clips and Instagram clips, like nowadays I feel like I just need to like pick and choose what I think is like an Instagram clip or a real clip, you know.
Mm-hmm.
There's like certain factors in my head that like for like maybe like something like if I have an idea for something already, I'm like, okay, I want to go do like this trick on this rail, but then I see like a flat rail or like a ledge before I have that idea. Maybe like I'll leak that like trick I just learned out on like a jib style for Instagram, you know, where like if it's something bigger or something that's like a little more scary or whatever to me, maybe I'm gonna save that for the video part. But I don't know. Sometimes even with this day and age, dude, sometimes you want to put something scary on Instagram just to get that like little quick wow, like quick stoke, you know,
Yep.
rather than just like having to wait a little bit for your whole video to drop to maybe get like 10,000 views where like you could one clip get a ton of views. I don't know. It's
It's
just
weird.
if you really care about that shit, like then obviously like Instagram is you're just gonna keep pumping onto Instagram, you know. But
Yeah. They
if
get
you
you
kind of get
hooked.
burnt out on that instant hype and you want like that archive of that memory, like that's where the video part's gonna last kind of forever, you know.
Yeah. You know what we
So
brushed over is your real BMX part.
oh yeah, okay, so yeah, so maybe that was after maybe Gangster Street Biking. I can't remember.
It's all a blur.
They're all blended together at this point, dude.
Oh shit. I want to see. Did you? Oh, there it is. We were talking about your. Oh my god, what a combo! Tires, drop ice, tires, 180 ice, cab. That's fire.
I was so stoked and caught off guard because I was like, wait a second, that worked.
Why didn't Instagram show me this? The algorithm's a real son of a bitch. You know that. My question was gonna be like, so like, for example, from this ledge edit, like, are you posting one clip at a time with a plan? You know, like so far you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, I don't know what a plan what plan
I
I
guess
don't
I
have
guess not
a
a
plan.
plan, but like if I was a pro rider, I would post every single clip from my new video part slowly over the course of a month after it came out.
Yeah, 100.
Yeah.
percent That's exactly what I'm doing. Like
Yeah.
next up, I'm probably gonna post the like ice pick to like firecracker clip or something.
Mm-hmm.
And like well, I'm like picking tricks that like I think are maybe like I'm putting out the ones that I think maybe like Instagram will compliment a little more. There's like a quick like little like thing or like something that's like stands out a little different.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't
Interesting.
know.
We're
It's
living
I
in an
mean, there's a
interesting
game to
world.
all of it, dude. Like, you know, like there's a thought process and everything to like anything we do with like Instagram or whatever, you know,
Are
like
you on TikTok?
no, I'm not on TikTok, but everyone, the amount of people that told me to go on TikTok the past like week is like insane. But like, I just can't get myself to do it. I just have this like weird like thing where I just like think it's too corny or cheesy, or if I'm just like if I get on it, I'm gonna just be whack as fuck. I don't know.
No,
I
it
just
would
think it's
only
so
be
bad,
actually
and
this
I've
would
hated on
actually
it
make
for
it
so
so
long that I
not
feel
whack. It would
bad
be
for
so
myself.
not whack if you did a dance and then posted a clip. Like each video on
Bro, yeah,
TikTok is just and then
yeah. I don't know.
cut to
It's
a clip of you riding.
I don't like see the benefit for me with TikTok. You know, like I've built this like following on Instagram, and I just feel like they've backed me for this long. I'm just gonna keep doing my thing
Yeah.
and try to grow on this platform. I don't need another one to like try to like play the same damn game or just be on my phone more than I already am. You know,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
like I just
Post
don't need that.
post and ghost. I
Yeah, man.
like it's literally my job to do social media, and I still have a hard time with TikTok for my work. Like I need to
Yeah.
be posting every single, like we post 3 times a day on Instagram, and I should be doing it every time for TikTok, but I just post the good shit on TikTok. It's a fucking social media, you know? And then there's Twitter, which is
Yeah.
now becoming X, but Twitter's popping. Are you on Twitter?
I was on Twitter and I was killing it on Twitter. I had so much fun on Twitter. I was always like hitting these one-liners and shit. And then all of a sudden I got hacked by like this porn page, and I shit's just I was just getting like porn ads like over and over and over again, dude. So, and I couldn't delete them as fast as they were coming in. So I was like, all right, my account's hacked. I'm fucked. So I
Goodbye,
just got over it.
Twitter. Goodbye, Twitter.
Yeah, bye Twitter. That was an era. It was like when I lost my Pokemon Go account. I was like, fuck, this sucks. And then like a day later, I'm like, whatever, I don't give a fuck.
Were you big in the Pokemon Go game?
I was pretty hard into it for a bit. Yeah, I at the beginning of like when it was like the hype of it, I was like went super hard, and then I kind of like ruined it for myself because I started learning all the hacks, like how to go to different countries and shit, and I was just like collecting like crazy Pokemon doing that, and I
I
ended up
didn't
like
know that that
maxing
was
out.
a thing that you could do. That's cool.
Yeah, it was just like a hack or whatever, but I don't know. It kept it fun for a while. Then I was just like, you know what, like fuck this,
Do you
I'm
have
over
a
it.
do you have a personal YouTube?
Not really. I think yeah, the Jake Seeley. I think it has like a couple videos I made. It has like one garden edit that's out and not out there really anywhere else besides right there that I was pretty stoked on. And then it like has some like garden videos.
Tell me about Garden. How did that start? Is that what is?
Garden was a basically it was just a snowboard shop, a skate and snowboard shop that started in Lanesboro, Massachusetts, I'm pretty sure, at this place. Oh no, sorry, it started off as this place called The Other Side, which is in Lanesboro. And I was a snowboarder, a young kid getting into snowboarding, and I went to this place and I bought my snowboards there. And then over time, the dudes that were the other side were the snowboard dudes. They ended up starting their own shop in Pittsfield, Mass, called The Garden, and that was in '01. And I guess there was just a newspaper, and my grandmother was like, knew I liked extreme sports and stuff. So she was like, "Hey, you should check out this new shop that's in a newspaper. They're opening this day or whatever." So then I ended up going in there, and long story short, I ended up getting sponsored by them for snowboarding. And uh, as time goes on, basically I become really good and tight with them. They see that I'm riding, and they see that BMX is kind of like popping at this time when I like right when I got out of high school. I like started spending all this time in Pittsfield. I was from Williamstown, Massachusetts, which was like 30 minutes away. But I just like had good friends out in Pittsfield there, so I just spent all my time out there, and like we created a big BMX scene, a wild BMX scene, dude, at this skate park called the Common, which was like Pittsfield's first skate park. It's gone now, but the amount of people that were just there pedaling BMX bikes was nuts, dude. It was just the right timing where like all these high school kids were just like the cool kids were like the dudes in charge like of setting the trends for everybody else.
Yeah.
And luckily like those kids were the ones that were repping Garden, and like we were the ones throwing all these mountain parties and like throwing these wild events, and like
Hell
shit
yeah.
just started growing so much to where like the shop's like, yo, full fledged, like we need BMX parts in the shop. Like we're gonna get BMX in the shop. Like, and like with a push from this one snowboarder skater dude, and he also rides rollerblades. He does like kind of everything. This dude, Justin Maruko, he's like really the dude that like he was like best friends with the dudes that owned it. And he was like, yo, like we got to get the BMX stuff in here. Like I'm telling you, like this stuff is like there's riders out there, and we'll do really well, and we'll be able to like it'll be huge. We got to do it. And they're like, I don't know. They're skaters and bikers. So they're like, fuck that. You know, they're like, nah,
Yeah.
I don't know. And then eventually they let like us get some like animal and FBM parts in. And then dude, like first day, like I had that shit like in the case and it was gone like that day, you know. And then we ordered more shit, and then like that shit sold. And then we started getting like all the Sunday stuff in, and just like tons of stuff in the shop, you know. And we just keep selling out. And now we got like people like from New York City repping the brand, and like Joey from AMPM is doing a collab with us, like making a video for the shop,
Yeah,
you know. Like,
dude. Garden
got to
was
kick it like
huge.
yeah, oh my god, dude. So we like it was sick. So like in that era, like we were just like really just like getting out there, and like, and I say we as like the just the crew of homies that like were the riders for the garden. Like we just like would always travel and like we was always down to film stuff. And we filmed the Garden Summer mixtape, which was a fun video that I made for them in kind of that era. And yeah, just
It's
the scene was growing, going crazy, and just like kept growing. And then yeah, just like the old owners left and the new ones came in. So like over that during that time, kind of like BMX kind of like fell off. Not it was still being sold there, but it wasn't like the main focus, and like things were just getting a little different and just switching up, you know, with new ownership and whatever.
yeah.
I wasn't really seeing eye to eye with the owner, the new owner, and whatnot. So I left for a part of like, a little bit of time, like a year or so. I left because I just didn't like how the vibe of it and everything that was going down. So then like a year went by and I ended up making amends with everybody. We had some great like meetings and conversations, and at this point now I'm just a rider for the shop, where I'm not an employee anymore. I don't have any responsibilities besides, hey Jake, we're gonna like hook you up, you're gonna ride for us, for like, you know, you're gonna be a rider. I'm like, sick, okay, cool. Like I'm like kind of a little hesitant at the time, but like, you know, I'll ease into it. You know, I can be down because like it just was like at the point where I was like, I'm not fucking with them anymore. You know, and like I
Yeah.
just saw the scene dying, dude. Like when we like myself and them weren't like tight. Like I could just see things like just, it was a bad time for the BMX scene in Pittsfield, Mass.
Huh.
So at that time, yeah, we're both like, you know, we just fucking, you know, shook hands, become like made amends. And now like I mean they're like some of my best friends now, you know, the new owners and the OG owner, Luke and Bill. So they're some of the greatest people ever. So it's just another one of those life learning situations, dude. Just patience and communication is like a beautiful thing, you know.
So we're cooking 22 years later now still. Is it that long?
Try,
Did you say
yeah,
2001 is when you first got
2001,
connected?
yeah, the
Yeah,
garden's
that
been there.
opened.
Yeah, yep.
Cool.
So they just opened a new shop out at the ski resort, just selling snowboards and stuff like that. They're doing fucking great, and the shop's killing it. They're doing awesome. We're throwing jams all the time, and just like trying to grow the community, or trying to grow the scene out here, dude. And it's I've seen so many generations now being affiliated with them and in the Pittsfield scene. Now we're at the generation now where there's the new kids coming up, the new like age like 12 to like 16, 17,
Yeah.
and like you can just see the fire in these kids' eyes. Like they love BMX, dude. Like every day, like, you know, they're going to the skate park all day and they're going home watching videos all day with their homies, just talking about BMX until they go to sleep, waking up like eating BMX, dude. Like, you know, like these
Yep.
kids, you can just see it. And it's so cool to see, because like I was like kind of like, all right, where's the next crew of kids? It's been like a little bit, and then all of a sudden, bro, there's like these 8 kids that are just like every day riding, and it's just like it's so cool to see like the progression now of them.
And they get to see
So
Jake Seeley, dude. This is so sick.
they call me like the BMX Godfather. They think I'm so old, these fuckers, dude. It's so funny.
What's up, old man?
Yeah,
Do a bar
that's
spin.
honestly how I feel around these dudes, man. I mean, because I like, you know, when you go to the park, like I'm not going there to like, I'm not like going and killing it every fucking day. Like I go there and I chill, you know, like I'm
Yeah.
just talking with people, like I'll cruise around a little bit and shit, but like they're like, it's just so funny,
Just
like
young,
what
hungry
they
kids.
like.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And they're like expectations when I come around. I just feel like they get so weirded out when I come around. It's so funny. I'm like, dude, I'm just a normal ass dude. Like, you got to get all weird with me.
That's probably how Aaron Ross felt when you were young and looking at him.
God, you're right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly right.
Shit.
Or these kids just think I'm whack as fuck. That's like another thing. I get to the park, I'm like, yo, these kids just think I'm whack. They all got like fiend frames now and shit. They're like,
why is this dude's bike so bright?
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Too many colors. So speaking of kids,
kids,
dude, who do you got your eyes on? Anybody that I should know about?
Oh man. Well,
Who are the
Diego's
youths?
the homie Diego, who just got hooked up by Sundays and fucking slaying.
Yeah,
He's
that's
been
true.
he's been doing a lot of really cool stuff for like locals. Like I always like speak on my homie Jacob Sanger. He's just like his Instagram is lovin_BMX. He's just been like the day one under my wing homie. Like I taught him how to ice pick grind. You know, like he's just like that little kid that came to the Garden BMX camp, and I was just like, yo, this kid like reminds me so much of myself. And like to this day, he's like 20. I think he's 21 now. But he just sort of reminds me so much of myself, and you could just see like he's such like a hardworking, like good dude, and just like has such a good head on his shoulders, dude. It makes me so hyped to like.
And he snowboards
Uh,
too.
yeah, he shreds. He's such like an all around fucking good ass kid, and
Hell yeah.
he's really just good at anything he does. Like he hasn't been riding like a ton. Like we haven't really had any projects or anything we were working on, but like he's the type of dude that just like hop on the bike and just like do anything, you know, along with like anything on a board, anything like anything he puts his mind to. He's just
I
like
love
a
it.
really talented human being.
Yes,
So
sir. Okay, who else?
him,
Who else should I know about that? Those two
Jared
so far. I
Duncan.
mean, I knew about Diego. I actually saw him at the jam, but I wasn't following him. So there we go.
Hell
Uh,
yeah. Obviously, I mean, what you know about like, obviously Duncan. Duncan, I'm just like so stoked
Yeah.
on him. I've always been a giant fan of him, and I could see him some great moves happening for him soon. Hopefully, seems like he's been on fire lately, so that's cool. I mean, I don't much of my friends, dude. Like Brett. I mean, we're talking more about people, young kids coming up, man. Like
I'll
I know
take
I'm like
Brett though.
forget.
Brett's a fire answer. Brett's the shit.
Well, and
And
also
finally
Brett is
getting the
like
recognition he deserves.
that's exactly why I say Brett, because I think right now Brett is fully getting like the respect he
Yeah.
deserves. You
Because
know, like
nobody does it like him, dude. Like toboggan to late bunny hop over that rail. Like,
yeah, it's just no, he's the best, man.
yeah, so
I would
good.
love to say so. There's this. I fucking wish I could remember this kid's name. It's just going to be completely pointless even trying to explain it. But he was at the Albany Jam Sunday, and he just had a different look and just a vibe than any other kid at that spot. And you just know that that dude's like going to be sick as fuck at riding.
Nice.
You know, yeah. So
Describe him to
shout out
me.
to him. I'm so sorry I forgot your name, dude. I'm literally the worst with that shit, but you are a G, and I respect the fuck out of you.
And you have to just know who you are. Just know that you're special.
Yeah, you just know that you're the
Everybody
one,
at everybody at that jam is gonna be like, he's talking about me for sure.
right,
I'm
right.
special.
I'm special. I honestly, I'll be honest with you, dude. Like, I haven't got out of like Pittsfield in the past like little bit, so I've been like pretty sheltered here. With like, I haven't traveled too much in the past, like since I went to Richmond, maybe 3 months ago. I
What's your
haven't really
but you can scroll on Instagram still. What's your algorithm looking like? Is it vintage tees or is it BMX? Or is it
both.
motivational speaking from David Goggins?
I keep both worlds separate. I actually have a separate Instagram for my vintage passion. It's the Unibinner, like the Unabomber, but Unibinner.
Sick. Unibinner. Let's go.
So that, yeah, I just keep them completely separate. So, and I put like a lot of time into both those. Like when I catch myself thinking like, oh, I'm doing too much of this, I need to go ride more. Like I'll get on my bike and I'll ride more, you know, or else if I'm like, I'm getting pretty tired
I want this.
of riding right now. Dude, that's incredible, right? That piece?
That's fire.
Yeah, that worn to perfection, dude. That thing is beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, this is better than bikes. Let's go, dude. Show me Sometimes, dude, I open my phone and look at Instagram, and it's just like, without even looking at who it is or what trick it is, I'm just like, fuck bike tricks right now. I can't. You know, this is just 16 years of seeing bike tricks, but then
Yeah.
I get in the mood, and I'm like, all right, what's going on? You know, get some
Dude,
motivation.
exactly. That's why I'm really happy that I got into the vintage stuff, dude, because like it keeps everything fresh. Like I hate to say that I don't like get burnt out on riding, but there's times when I'm like, I just need a little break. I just need to switch it up. You know, I'm like I have like the blinders up from my creativeness. Like I can't think of anything. I'm just like doing circles right now. So like I think it's really good to like separate yourself from your passions once in a while. And now I'm super thankful that I have another thing that I'm passionate about to like put put time into when I'm just not feeling it on my bike, you know, and not stressing a lot of the money aspect of like survival just from being a pro
100%,
rider,
dude.
you know.
When you're
So
young
like
and like you're obsessed, I remember like I could just watch bike videos and ride and literally only think about bikes all day every day for years, and then now like after doing it for 20 years it's like, all right, let's balance it out a little bit, you know.
yeah, and it makes you appreciate it more. Like I can say like if I didn't get into vintage, maybe I would have gotten burnt out and like started getting frustrated with BMX, you know, because it was the only thing I knew.
Yeah.
But like with vintage, like I can catch myself being like, fuck, I gotta get on my bike, I want to ride, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Or even if like, yo, maybe I get a new T-shirt and I like have a fit that I'm like really gassed on, and I'm like, yo, I gotta go get a clip in this fit, you know, or
Yep.
something of the sort. So
That's real, dude. It's
yeah,
when you
it's
look good, you ride good. It's
yeah,
that's
thousand
facts.
percent, man.
Yep.
1000%, especially when you're filming, dude. You want that clip
Mm-hmm.
to look as good as possible. Yeah, I'm stoked on the clip, but like I want to look how I want to like look at it. I want to look decent in
Yeah,
it. So
that's real.
yeah, but yeah, just keeping everything fucking fresh and separate, dude, is kind of like what I do with this. Like I spend a lot of time sourcing. I source every day. I dig for hours on like and every day, but then and maybe 12 or 1 when I'm done, then I go ride or vice versa.
What a
It's a
life.
grind. I'm literally just go, go, go. I can't fucking sit still ever. I'm like,
I love it.
ah.
Yeah, good for you.
Just gotta,
So good.
yeah,
So
I don't. My girlfriend hates it sometimes, but she's like, "Why don't you just chill? Just sit
can
down
you
and
just sit
relax
on
for
the
a little bit."
couch?
I'm
God
like, I'm like,
damn it.
yo, I just gotta go. You need anything from the store? I got you.
Gotta go, gotta go. Wherever it
Gotta go,
is,
gotta go.
you gotta go. Uh, so what that just bringing up your girlfriend, what is your life like right now? Like where are you? What's your
Life's
life?
awesome, dude. It's mellow. I live in like a small town or a small city, Pittsfield, Massachusetts. Um, I got a dog who I've had now for 8 years, Bentley. He's in like all my videos. It's my main dude.
Shut
So
up,
it's just
Bentley.
so good to be, yeah, shout out Bentley. They're the best. I got a lovely lady, Haley McDonald, who pretty much been with for like 12 years or so now. Through thick and thin,
She's seen
she's
some
my
eras.
she's seen, yeah, she's definitely seen some areas, dude. She's a keeper. She's rad as hell. So just been enjoying a lot of time with her. We just got back from the beach. We went to Hampton Beach for a couple of days, got some sun, much needed sun. And other than that, just planning events. Like I threw a giant vintage event in May called the Linden Street Market. I had 40 vendors out from all over like Northeast, and they brought out anything from streetwear. We had sneakerheads there, people doing rework, like chopping up clothing and reworking it, making it into art, whatever. And then we had vintage heads there, and
So
it
you're
was
reaching
super.
out to all these vendors, like sending an email?
Yeah, all
Fuck
40
yeah.
of them. Yeah, yeah, man. And I threw the whole event was just on my own. I built like a cool photo booth out of like plushes. I got told that Turnstile did something similar. I actually didn't know it until after when someone told me that. So that was cool to go back and see them have a similar idea that I had. I basically made a photo booth out of like all old plush dolls. It was really cool.
Nice.
And then had like food trucks and music and all that shit. So that was an epic time, dude. So I've been doing that, and then every weekend in this town called Great Barrington, I pop up a 10 by 10 tent with all my vintage in it and slang vintage. On the street does really well, and it's a good ass time. It's kind of, like I said in the past, like in a prior in the interview, like or the podcast, I was just talking about like introducing like the vintage to like people in my town and stuff. So like those markets are great for that. And I'm kind of just like finding myself building a community of like vintage heads in my town, dude, of like kids like or teens and like younger kids like getting into vintage and like fitting themselves out and just going out sourcing stuff other than rather than going to like Target or Walmart and buying their clothing or whatever.
Oh,
So it's really cool to be able to see that influence like happening, like
yeah.
from kind of my push on vintage, like how I had a push with the BMX in the community. So that's really cool. That's like another thing I'm doing all the time. And yeah, I've been healing for the past like 3 months probably on my knees. I've had such delicate knees my whole life and like 4 knee surgeries, and I've gone through the ringers with them for sure. But I'm on the up and up now, and I'm riding again, thankfully. So you'll definitely be seeing more riding. And oh my god, dude! And the lake jump. Me and my boys, we built a lake jump, a nice like 4 foot kicker into the water, and we just been ripping that like
Hell
at
yeah.
least two days a week at least. We'll all get
Sick.
together, shorts and all, towels, just beach vibes, and just fucking send in like whatever into the water. I will say that shit hurts though if you don't land it right on it.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's
I've
like
never done
concrete
it.
when you if you land wrong, it's like concrete for sure. But dude, it's so much fun. It's a blast. Like you either like if you're landing a little sideways, you just kind of bail the bike out, or else if you're landing like perfect, it's like you can land like back tire and just like it goes right into the water. It's so
Yeah.
smooth and chill. It's fun. So we've been doing that a lot. Like I'm finding myself like like a lot of my homies out here kind of trickled out of like the crew of dudes before this next generation coming out, like are all kind of like they got girlfriends, jobs, they're into different shit, they're like starting different careers and stuff. So like I've seen a lot of like that scene or that like group of people that kind of just like disappear. We don't really get to ride with them as much, but this summer and like last fall has been really good because we were starting to build trails again too. I could see all these people starting to like get bikes again and coming out riding more consistently and like being, coming out, I miss this so much, dude. This is so, oh, we got to do this more. And like, it's
They
just
grew
so
up.
refreshing. Yeah. They grew up,
They
but
grew
now
up.
like they're getting reintroduced to the fun again, to that lifestyle
Yeah.
again. Maybe some of them had kids and like their kids are just old enough to be hanging around now while they
Yeah.
ride. So I've been trying to like get those homies out more and doing more stuff that'll be like, hey dudes, like we can still do this stuff even though we're still like living these busy lives that we have.
Yep. Good for
So I've
you.
been doing a lot of that with my friends. I've just been living that small town life, dude, like trying to motivate people in this area that might need it, or just like get out and just like bring stoke and like joy to this town, because there's a lot of talent here and a lot of good people that end up getting lost or just don't have that like direction or like something to strive for. So if you like kind of can help them a little bit, like give them a direction to that, or like just a little nudge,
Yeah.
maybe they can like find their way, dude. So I don't know. I'm really passionate about this town and like the kids and the youth out here. I just like I love it. So that's why I stick around this area. Like I should, yeah, maybe I should be in like a city or something doing all this too. But like I feel like this
Nah,
place
dude. Do
needs it.
you? Yeah.
Yeah, and it makes me really happy. Like just kind of just like I just want to bring the stoke out of people. So that's like
You're
kind
being
of
a
what I've
good
been up to
godfather.
lately. I guess so. Yeah, I
Yes,
guess
sir.
so. Like, I just want to throw events. Like, I'm already trying to think of like, okay, I got the lake jump. Now, how can I throw an event for that? Like, okay, we're gonna get people out in the boats. We're gonna get a little, like cookout going. We'll do like a beach party like type contest. I'll put up like a $500 pot for best trick or something.
Yes.
And we'll call it like flying, or I was call it like swimming in the sky, just like something simple,
Sick.
and just boom, event, get the
I'm
community
there.
stoked on something. Like
I'm
I don't
there.
know, I'm
Tell
just
me
trying to do
when.
more, dude.
That's
But
fire.
definitely noticing myself needing to get out of here a little bit more, though. That's what Albany was a really good. That was a good trip for me. It was only like 45 minutes away, but like just getting out there and being surrounded by like the people, I'm like, okay, I got to get out of town a little more and not just
Yeah.
be like a hobbit in my town. I need to get out and explore.
Well, dude, you've been
And
getting out since you were, 15 and
that's another
going to
reason
different
why I
places,
think
so
I'm
you're so
like
used to it.
chill. I'm happy with this, like chilling right now. I'm not chilling. I'm
Yeah.
still working hard. I'm still riding my bike, but like I'm just like I'm content with
Staying
being at
local right now.
home,
Yeah.
because it's always been go live here, do this, like go see this, do that, like
No wonder
maybe
you're out sourcing clothes in the morning and riding in the afternoon. And baby, need anything from the
yeah,
grocery store? I'm going.
dude, right, yeah,
It's little mini trips,
exactly,
daily mini trips. Which
exactly, dude,
it's honestly like once you get your momentum of like go 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 go, it's pretty easy to just keep that go go go. Like why stop?
exactly,
Why stop?
exactly.
Dude,
Facts.
it's been I don't know how long, 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I don't know. Time's just
It's
going to. It's been
yeah,
it's honestly been so nice chatting. It's been fun.
for real. So let's see. Let's go to what's next. Is there anything planned trip wise?
Nothing's planned. I'm like softly on animal.
Oh,
So like
sick.
nothing's like official. I was talking with Howard. It was like kind of around the time when his hub guard came out, and I like comment. I'm like, "Ooh, this thing's fucking sick," because his design was epic. I loved like his design for that drive side hub guard, and I wanted one really bad. So I think I might have mentioned like, hey, like how much for a hub guard or whatever. And he's like, oh, blah blah blah, this and that. Like, no, dude, like we'll just send you one. It's cool. And then Kai just kept talking like a little bit, just like more to the lines of, hey, we'll send you a box. Like we'll put your, deck your bike out with animal stuff. Like we'll send you a box. He sent me so much shit. I'm still like going through t-shirts and shit that they sent me. They hooked it up. It was nuts.
Hell yeah.
And I was supposed to go on 2 trips. So I was out in Austin. I was going to be back home. Like I was going to be home for like 2 days. Then I'd have to fly back, or I'd have to drive out to, no, I was in California, when all this is happening. Then I had to go back home and then be home for 2 days, then go out to his place driving, which would have been like a day alone, and then go out to then drive with him to Austin to film in Austin for a day or two, and then drive back to the East Coast. So I'm like, dude, I don't think I can do that. Like at this point, and like I'm just getting like talking. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to fuck this up, dude. Like, yes, I'll go. Yes, I'll go. And then I was like, dude, I can't pull that. Like, what? I want to have clips in this video like so bad. It'd be so cool, but it's not gonna work, unfortunately.
Right.
So then that happens. Then we have a group plan to go film with each other again, and then I get hurt and in Richmond because I like we got to like kick it with Latin A and like all like those animal dudes, you know, and like it was sick. It was just like we were all vibing super well. I was stoked, and then I got hurt, and then now I'm like, okay, Ryan, now I'm hurt again. I can't film, so like, I can't. So like, okay, cool. So like they're posting like clips on Instagram, and like people are like, what's going on? Are you on? Are you off? Are you not? Like, what is this? And I'm just like, well, I'm shit. Oh, sorry. Low pat. We're good.
Oh,
good? We're good. We're good.
Okay.
So basically, like, dude, I'm just like so frustrated. Like it sucks so bad because I want to film a part for like a welcome to animal video so bad. But I haven't been able to, and it's just been a tease and a half because like it's there. Yeah, but I haven't been able to like.
So that's next on the list, then, eh?
That's next on my list, 100%. Because right now is Sunday, we don't have anything too crazy planned. There's like some mixtape shit that from like leftover footage that's gonna happen and stuff like that. And then like some other dudes on the team are kind of getting like the focus, on their parts. Yeah, I think there's a new Elstrand part dropping very soon.
Hell yeah,
which is gonna be awesome. And yeah, so.
Dude, Elstrand's incredible. That's exciting. I'm stoked to see an animal welcome video from you.
Dude, me too. It's honestly a dream. Like that's dream shit right there. Mm-hmm. So, and I definitely want it to be a good project, So,
will you get a clip with just one front peg for it, please? Maybe smith up a rail or something.
I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can do that now, bro.
Would you smith up a rail without back pegs right now? Like I wouldn't.
Nah, I probably wouldn't, dude. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, honestly.
Just young and dumb. I was talking to I stopped by Epic when I was out in California and talking to Fu, and he was explaining like Max being so good and learning tricks, and it's just because you're young and dumb. Like you're stupid enough to try the shit. That's why you learn. Consequences. Yeah, exactly. Because you're made of rubber,
I gotta run to the bathroom real quick. Is it okay?
Yeah, let's pause. And then we'll come back with some podcast questions. And we're empty. No more pee in me. No more pee in you.
No more pee in me. So I only got a little bit of water left. I did good tonight. I'm fully hydrated.
Dude, bless up. We stay hydrated. Our bodies are made of water.
That's right.
That's right, brother. Are you healthy? Are you eating good? Are you a vegan? Why do I think you're a vegan?
No, I'm just eat whatever. I eat pretty much anything, really. I just don't like seafood, as strange as that is.
That's fine by me.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll eat meat. I'll eat a bunch of salads.
Nice.
But for the most part, I don't know. I just listen to my body. If I'm feeling like shit, I'll eat healthy. Sometimes I'll treat myself with some like hot dogs and hamburgers. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, you mentioned earlier you got fat. What made you fat?
Say again.
What made you fat? When you got fat?
Not riding. A lot of sitting around. Kind of just hanging out, a lot of beer, a lot of beer.
That liquid bread, beautiful.
And at the end of the day, dude, that's what it was. Because I'll be honest, what really switched it up for me? Well, I stopped drinking and then I got into smoking.
Nice.
Because I started smoking a little later in the game, probably like 22. I probably started smoking.
Marijuana, you're referring to.
Yeah, sorry,
not cigarettes. Imagine.
Yeah, no.
You know what really made my life better was cigarettes.
And that really helped me out. That really slipped me up.
Oh shit!
Don't you listen to the ads, kids? They'll get you.
Oh man, yeah, that's a good switch.
But, yeah,
swapping out booze.
Yeah, no, it's a good switch. It changed. It was the best switch of my life, dude. Attitude wise, health wise. My knees stopped swelling. That was a big problem. That was like really discouraging around like the time in my darker times. Like my knees were so swollen and so uncomfortable all the time. And I just couldn't walk comfortably, let alone ride comfortably. So that made me drink more. And then
that's a vicious cycle.
yeah, then went through the whole anxiety issue situation, and then found weed and got obsessed with weed, and was that wicked goofy, just like new weed kid in the group, just like still like let's smoke, guys,
Look at my
yeah,
new
and
bong.
everybody's like, dude, cool, all right, sick, here, take it.
Hey, you're 15 years late, bro.
Yeah, exactly. That's the funny part. That's why I say that, because I was literally so late to the game, dude. I was such a cheese ball
Better late
with
than
the
never,
weed
man.
stuff.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
whatever. So I was super stoked on it, and still to this day, yeah, I still smoke on the regular. I smoke weed on the regular. I don't drink. I'm kind of like surrounded by like people that have had issues with alcohol, in their past, and they're doing fantastic now. So I like to kind
Fuck
of
yeah.
like be right there along with them, kind of like hopefully maybe not, they're inspiring me too, as much as I'm like maybe inspiring them to not drink, and we live a life that we don't need to drink.
Yeah.
And I think maybe it's just like respectful to them. So like, yeah, that's why I don't ever drink. Like, I'm not like doing it to be like I'm sober. I don't find any joy in it or any like desire to drink anymore. So like, I couldn't even tell you last time I've had like a beer or any type of drink at all. So
Good for
I
you.
just like, yeah, I just like being right along with them, right along with their journey, and just like being as supportive as I can to those close people that are dealing with those and
Because
are just
some of the
dealing with
best
that.
people are in recovery, you know? Like,
1,000%, 1,010%.
yeah.
So it's just like I just like I'm really just rooting for them, and I just love the movement, and I just love that they're just doing so well.
Yeah.
So that motivates me just to stay smoking and just staying on that train. I don't smoke enough to where I'm getting like I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna chill all day. It's like,
Yeah.
nah, I'll burn and I'll go do something, and just keep that like the creativeness going. I don't know.
And when I
It
smoke
just
during
I
the
don't know.
day, it makes me get up and do shit. If I'm like vegging
Yeah.
out, I'm watching a
I
show or
mean,
something, I
honestly,
smoke, and then I'm
sure.
like, let's do something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, it can make you bog down, but it's all about like it's about your drive. Like, so as long as it doesn't start, you don't start noticing like
Like, hey, all I'm doing is this.
yeah,
If weed is
exactly.
the actual activity, then you're doing it wrong, you know?
Yeah, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No.
So, but yeah, so
All
that's
right,
what
so
that.
we gotta hit the. We gotta wrap it up. It's past our bedtimes, bro. So
I can chat with you forever, dude.
I,
This has been really fun.
it flew by like nobody's business. It's and
I
also
know.
like just hearing your story and rewatching that Death Grip video is honestly my favorite part. That Death Grip video is so fucking good. Um,
Thanks, Bobby. I appreciate
I
that,
mean,
dude.
you've outdone it since then, but anyway, I've brought it up a couple times now. So we talked about some kids. That's a question I ask all the time. What's
Yeah.
your scariest moment, proudest clip in your whole career? You've done a lot, but what's the shit
Area
that pops into mind when I say like, yeah, scariest or all right? First, what's the scariest thing you've ever done?
for
Yeah,
riding wise.
yeah.
Trying to think of like things that were like, oh my god. I mean, anything that's like anything that's just like a bigger setup is like so terrifying to me. Anything that I might get hurt is like I'm so in my head, so scared to do anything. I'm a pussy, dude. Like I just like I just don't want to do anything that's gonna hurt me. And I'm just like, it's really gotta be something like I'm like, yo, all right, I'm doing this. Like the spot has to for me to really want to do a scary like clip or like something big. The spot it has to like be like, okay, this has to happen on this. This was meant for this.
Yeah.
Fuck, I can't think of I'm trying to think of one thing off the top of my head. There's like, okay, here's one. During headlights, I don't know if this is the scariest thing, but I was really nerved up to do this. Was the firecracker or the gap in firecracker up the like fountain and then tail up over the
Mm-hmm.
it was like a slow channel or a Euro gap to the top.
Yeah.
And I did like firecracker whip on that. And that was just like, it was really nerve wracking because my knee was pretty sore that day. And like, if I hit it wrong, it could have gone out. And I was just like around like a bunch of people that were like kind of a little heavier hitters. And I was just like, I don't do fucking tail whips. And it was just a kind of a nerve wracking situation. And yeah, I mean, I thankfully I handled it, but like, dude, just like pedaling as fast as I possibly could, jumping like down a gap into a stair set going up was just like, what the fuck am I doing right now? Like, there was a point when I like dropped off the ledge to go up to the stairs. I'm just like, I'm just gonna hit this thing like a wall and just like splat like a cartoon character, like that. But it worked out, and that was like something that was like pretty terrifying to me. I know as soon as I get off the interview, I'll be like, dude, oh my god, no, this was so much more crazy to me.
Fuck it. That's a good answer.
But
What
it
about
doesn't.
listen instead of like?
Oh, actually, can I?
Yeah,
I'll
go.
pump the brakes back. Scariest thing I've ever had to do, and it's not even something that like I don't think it's like too scary, but like my ender in my X Games part, the hop on the tires to the ledge and hop onto the rail at the like little kick part. That was with the X Games pressure, the spot being super tall at the top, and it being like a tire ride, and just like that X Games pressure, dude, it was like that might have been like the most fucked up I was in the head, like going to try to do something, to like push myself past that bar, and like even like I had the idea to do that trick like prior, so I was like there was like 2 nights of sleep that I was just like I could not sleep, dude, at all. I was just thinking about that. It was so clouded. I was supposed to shoot a photo with Guts there, and I totally fucking blew it 1,000% on hitting him up because I was so fucking clouded by like the nerves of getting this trick done, and still to this day I fucking hate myself for that, but that ended up happening. So, dude, yeah, that clip was a pain in my fucking ass, along with just being such a big head game, and just my nerves were so just like tangled all up during that. That probably was the scariest thing that I've done.
Well, you got it done, baby.
Yeah. Fuck
how
that,
about how about a clip that you had to work the longest to get? Because you are tech as shit, so I'm sure there's some.
Yeah, it was.
Got to come back.
I can think of it right now, and the one that I have in mind is in Grow Up, where I do 360 Smith crank flip feeble 360 on like a bank to sub setup.
Mm-hmm.
I went back there like 3 days trying that, and like nowadays I'm like, why the fuck did that take so long? But I think it was just like the setup in general. Like the top of the ledge was a little more narrow. It was a little beveled weirdly, and like it wasn't
all the little
perfect.
things.
Yeah, it was just a bunch of little things that were just making it so hard for me to like get it done. And yeah, I don't know. I was so fucking like relieved when I landed that one, because that one was just like, when is this gonna fucking happen?
Yeah.
Like, is this ever gonna happen? So
yep.
that was one that I was just so fucking frustrated. I remember just like losing my shit for that one.
Hell yeah.
So yeah,
BMX, maybe you gotta love it.
Oh my god! Then there was the one when I was in Arizona on the triangle ledge, dude, in the pit.
Yeah. What were you doing there?
When I was trying ice crank flip to Smith.
Yeah.
I was there probably for like 5 hours, dude. It was daytime when we got there, and then I ended up not getting the clip. I did like 100 crank or ice pit crank flip to feebles there. But the time that I really committed on the ice to crank flip, I missed my front peg on the Smith and went right to my shoulder right before the curb, thankfully. Ooh. That sticks out at the bottom.
Yeah, that could have got
and
you.
At that point,
that would have broke your shit.
It would have destroyed my life, dude. So when that happened that fall, I was just like, I'm over it. But dude, that was probably the longest battle that I've ever tried for a trick that I didn't end up landing.
That's the worst, when you put 4 hours into something that doesn't happen.
I was so frustrated. That was for headlights, that trick, and that would have been close to like probably an ender for me. I would have probably put that towards the end.
I vaguely remember meeting up with you guys during that time.
You did, yeah. Because who's the redheaded friend? Montana, or your homie out there he does a ton of crank flips.
Joey Mata.
Joey Mata. Yeah. Yes. So Joey Mata, dude, I think he had gas in his car, because when we ended up at that spot, I was trying it for so long that I ended up running through the entire tank of gas, but he had gas in his car to keep the session going, bro.
Hell
he
yeah.
filled it up and kept the session going. What a good ass dude, man.
Yep.
I was so thankful for him doing that. That was so cool.
Love Joey Mata. Shout out Joey Mata. Oh my god,
what a good guy.
For real. He's just stand-up dude. He's got his own landscaping business now, and he's He's gonna have a part in Mediocre too. He's got the most catching up to do because he's been so busy running his own shit, but he's making it a priority. He's bringing a kicker out. It's sick. I'm excited. I love Joey.
He's amazing, dude. I'm hyped to hear that.
Day one, homie. Okay. So proudest, scariest. Let's do Mount Rushmore.
I knew you were gonna ask me this one. All right. So with the Mount Rushmore, is that just current or is that throughout my all time?
It depends, dude. Like for me, I did one for free coaster riders. You could just pick a category and then name it Mount Rushmore.
I'm just gonna do an influential.
On you personally.
So first person that comes to mind,
Kevin Porter.
He's on that list. Yes,
okay,
Kevin Porter's on that list.
I will say Mount Rushmore. Your turn.
George DeSantos is on that list.
Ooh.
Aaron Ross is on that list. And Butcher is on that list.
Fuck yeah. That's a bomb ass Mount Rushmore.
So it's a very random one, but like all those people had certain like things that like really rubbed off on me. I would say what? Like certain tricks or styles or just like I don't know, just certain eras like that like brought me up, you know, like certain things that I was into in that time period. So
yeah. Oh, you know what we should do? Mount Rushmore of all-time fuck-footed riders. Take it away,
man, that's tough because I don't pay attention to any of them. I'm so bad with any way you could.
You don't know your kind, brother? You guys got to stick together. Don't you have a Facebook group? Like a support group? Speaking of people in recovery, for being fuck-footed. Like you guys have Zoom meetings.
I think I'm so Seeley, proud of my fuck-footedness that I don't care. I'm hyped to be fuck-footed because it's helped me like learn so many tricks the hard way first, and then I can learn them the proper way, and it's a little easier.
That's what you guys all say, but really, if you could go back and learn it the proper way. I know.
I would love to see how the big truck drivers and bar spins the right way. It'd be great. I would love to throw a 180 bar that's not switch spin. It would be fucking awesome.
Yeah, dude, it's a rough life for you guys, man.
It is tough. Like, cool, we get blessed with the look back. Sick.
Wow, he does a 180 look back. Cool.
Yeah, cool.
I love how he just chooses to do that trick.
Everyone's doing like 3 manual 180s now. Oh, sick. My foot doesn't help me spin after the 360. It just shoots me to the ground. So that trick is basically out the door for me.
That's out the window.
What's there's just like so much stuff there that dude, you're so right. There's a lot of stuff that's like being fuck-footed just sucks for sure.
But it's a blessing. It's a blessing and a curse, man. Aaron Ross 100%. Is one of them. Honestly, I couldn't think of a Mount Rushmore for it either. Aaron Ross.
Well, Trent Lutz.
Oh, dude, Trent's amazing with it.
He's sick.
Yeah. Who the fuck else?
Come on, where are they at? They're in my head somewhere.
Yeah, me too. I'm just like going through the Rolodex. Nobody in the X Games is fuck-footed, I'll tell you that much. Nobody at X Games Real BMX Street best trick contest was fuck-footed. Dude, whatever.
It's also kind of a dying breed. Like there's a lot less fuck-footed riders out there than normal nowadays. I think
now people are just learning to do shit with feet both ways and throwing it both ways. Everything's regular, you know? Oh, yeah. Brock is fucking one of the best
Brock. Yep.
Yeah, goated.
Yeah, he's actually like trained himself to like learn tricks like a different way, right?
Yeah,
like, at the beginning and stuff. Like he's relearned like certain ways or bar spins or spins or like certain stuff, right? That's impressive. That's dope.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what that dude. He did the right move when he was like younger one, and they like changed it up. You know.
Yep. For real.
Made it way easier for himself in the long run.
I had something I was gonna say. I can't remember.
It's late, man. Hey,
it's late.
We've done really good though so far.
Yeah. We're wrapping this interview up. What's been your favorite part?
Of this interview.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just getting to chop it up with you. I've never had a chance to do a podcast before, dude. This is just fun as hell.
We've definitely kicked it a lot, but we've never really gotten to talk like this and hear your story. It's
right? Yeah. It's cool to be able to tell a story, you know, because like in like a normal conversation, you know, I'd love to be talking and asking you questions too, you know, but like. You don't always get the chance to blurt out your life and like everything, you know? So it's kind of cool. It's sweet. I've had fun doing it, you know?
Like when you finish the story and we reach present day, it honestly was like, everything feels right, you know? Like so cool.
Yeah.
So
Hell yeah, dude. Exactly. And I got to share like my life now with the vintage clothing and stuff
Yeah.
and all that. So I don't know, man. I'm stoked. I think we covered a lot of good stuff. We didn't really get into any like crazy edgy stuff or any wild stories, but like I
No.
don't know, there's nothing. I don't know. We're doing
It's
all
for the
right.
kids, man. This
Yeah,
podcast
it's
for the
what it is,
kids.
man. We out here riding, living, just
Just
enjoying it. Trying to just be a nice guy and work hard. That's all we can do, you know?
that's money. Let's wrap up with a music suggestion. You got that album cover on your wall right there. So why don't you?
I'll be honest, I mean, Pink Floyd's pretty dope, but I don't listen to them like a shit ton, you know. Um lately I've been super into like it's so strange. Limp Bizkit, Corn.
What?
like you some
Oh shit!
I've been loving all the 90s jams
All
lately,
right,
dude.
I'll put on some Limp
Slipknot
Bizkit tonight,
has
dude.
been sick. Maybe some new
Oh,
metal, you
dude,
know.
I do like Slipknot. Like, they've gone full circle where I liked them, corny as hell. Now I like them again. Like
Yeah,
that
right,
that
exactly.
that that
It's kind
journey.
of just the nostalgia. I'm just like stuck in that 90s nostalgia right now.
I love it. Oh, dude,
Um
and I'm totally gonna take you up on that vintage order. I'm gonna send you 50
Please,
bucks.
yo, please do, man. I'll make
Yeah,
sure to put a sick one. I love doing that stuff. I'll send Jared Duncan a bunch of shit, Brett,
so
all those
sick.
dudes, like little care packages. And
So
who knows,
excited.
maybe one day I'll have a whole fucking team, dude, and I'll just be doing all this shit. I'll actually be
Yeah,
like a company, you know, a company hooking all these kids up with these sick vintage tees. And
so rad.
I don't know.
So
We'll see what happens.
we go follow you on New Binner. What is it?
Yeah, follow me over on the Unibinner. It's the
That's
and
such a
then
good name. The Unibinner.
UNABINNER. Thanks,
Yep,
dude. I appreciate that.
great name.
That was just a late night coming back from the bins in Texas, and they were talking about the Unibinner or a Unabomber on the radio a little bit. And I was like at that point in time where like I was like, yo, I need a name for this, like to be in the community. I just needed a good Instagram handle name to like something. And then I was just like, they were talking about that. And I was like, yo, Unabomber, Unibin, yo, that'd be mad funny because at the bins, I'm always like mad reckless and causing like a chaos when I'm digging.
Yes.
So like I was like, yo, it's like kind of an explosion, like Unibin or Unabomber. I'm like, boom, that's it.
Bomb.
That's how I came up with that name.
That's it. So everybody go follow the Unibinner. And
Yeah.
I won't record an outro. I'll just say, hey, thanks for watching. This is the end of the video. Please like and subscribe. Okay. That's
Do it.
Adios, Jake Seeley.
Adios, muchacho.
Thanks again, man. This is stoked.
Thank you, Bobby. I'm hyped that we finally made it happen.
Big time. All right.